Hopefully you can hear me. Let's see. Yep, looks like my mic's working. Oh, all right. Let me just make sure everything is copacetic. Give me 2 seconds, guys. So you're gonna see I'm not wearing any headset. This is gonna be a weird.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
All right, so that's working. Good evening, Ooga Booga. Good evening, Koki Paloo. Good evening, Vegeta. That's all I saw so far. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. We are doing a weirder stream today. So basically, in case you haven't heard or you're not in the Discord, I ended up with an ear infection, which is what led to the kind of short stream. Hey, Foggy. It's so that's what I'm just getting into. So basically, I ended up with a bit of an ear infection. Andrew, what's going on? I'm now on amoxicillin, and I'm supposed to leave my headset off for a couple of days, so I decided that we'd break out the Brujo Talk Show like we did, where I met a lot of you guys. Now some of you older members that came over before Evil Dead, obviously I didn't meet you guys then, but so we're doing it. You started watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. How you liking it? It's one of my favorite series. I think I've watched it like 3 times all the way through, maybe 4. So we're not gonna play tonight because I can't put these on. Let me know how the music is. If the music needs to be a little lower, let me know that. But I can't put my headset on because I'm not allowed to until at least tomorrow, and that's gonna depend if I basically if the pressure is off my ear, I'm allowed to put it on. If not, I'll have to wait till like it's gone. So it was like at least 48 hours per my doctor yesterday, but we shall see. So that's kind of what's going down. So hopefully everyone's having a good night tonight. I wanted to do, like a basically, hour and a half podcast. I figured that was something cool we could all do together for, nice. Yeah, it's all on Netflix, so you can watch the entire series there, Ooga Booga. You don't necessarily need stars. Now, if you have stars, you can still watch it there. Ash vs. Evil Dead is chef kiss. If you haven't done it, you can get a 7-day. If you've never done this, you can get a 7-day stars preview. They'll give you a 7-day free preview of stars, and you can watch Ash vs. Evil Dead on there. Also, Heels, the the indie wrestling show starring shit, what's his name? Amell, Stephen Amell, from Arrow stars in it. Yeah, he's pretty good. Sorry, I just had a complete blank. That's what's gonna happen when you are wearing medication, or if you're eating amoxicillin for a day. Army of Darkness is always good. It's classic. Hopefully everyone's having a really good night. I probably won't be back to the game until tomorrow, hopefully. If I can play tomorrow, we will be doing community night, and I'll be playing with everyone. If I can't, then hopefully Friday I'll be back. And we got stuff coming up on Friday. Like, there's so much cool stuff. You can watch Heels on Prime? I did not know that. Heels is really, really good. That's fair, Matthew. I don't watch AEW. I actually watch WWE, so I can understand that. But I get that. That's fair. I can understand people watching their wrestling. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. Get your WWE, your AEW, your Heels. I think the skeleton version of Evil Ash would be awesome. So I wanted to show everyone this real quick. And I'll do this real quick. So this is one of the things, if you haven't watched my video today, one of the things that was talked about that has been leaked, and I did a leak video, and I try to keep them to no more than, like, when I have some stuff I feel like is really worth talking about. But here, check this out. This is the animation of what it's going to look like when we get landmines. Boop-a-doo-boo. So you put it in there, you bury it, kaboom skis. So there's an animation version for both Ash as well as the Savini version of Ash, so which is really cool. We have a picture of what they look like. But yeah, so the animation's in there. We have everything we need to know. So that's one of the cool things. So it looks like now where that's going to go in weapons, I have absolutely no idea. I should watch AEW. That's what people keep telling me. Like, I know. Like I finally got myself back into WWE after like a multiple year hiatus. Um and the only thing that's really interesting me in WWE, to be honest with you, is Judgment Day. I do love me some Edge. Some Dark Edge is good stuff. But we definitely are going to be seeing that. I want to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about Dead by Daylight's 6th-year anniversary, which starts on June 7th. We're going to talk about the new tier list. Sadistic, what's going on? See, that's what everyone tells me. Everyone's all about the AEW. AEW is getting a game. It's true. I heard we're getting new guns in the game as well, Andrew. Yes, we are. And it looks like we are going to be getting... I wonder how... So... We'll talk about guns first. So we are getting some guns in the game as well. One of them, and they're kind of doing one gun from all the previous Evil Dead games as like a reference. We're going to get like the pop gun from Fistful of Boomsticks. We're getting the can gun, which was like the rotating canister gun from Regeneration. So there's some really cool guns coming along the way. How's the ear? So I have an ear infection. So I can't wear a headset. That's why we're doing a podcast tonight. That's what's going on with it. So we're talking about, horror games. I applied today officially for a copy of The Quarry. And because of, you guys being so awesome and subbing and following and everything you've been doing lately, who knows? Maybe we'll actually have a chance for it. We were able to get the Evil Dead copy, which I then gave away to Snuffles. If I like mid-story, that's fair. So we applied for a copy of The Quarry. I hope we get it. I would love to play that for everyone. Explosive bow and arrow from AOD. That would be awesome. Farm Army of Darkness. With the gunpowder on it. Are you excited or interested in the Callisto Protocol? What is Callisto Protocol? I might not be up to date on that. What is that, Sadistic? Let's take a look. Callisto Protocol. Is that the new game? The new survival horror game? I think I just saw the preview for that today. Okay, yep, it definitely is. I have not watched the full trailer yet. So I think someone posted that. It's the Dead Space game. Yeah, Snuffles won the game. We did it live on Friday on Dead by Daylight stream. Yeah, I knew a new one dropped today. I had not watched it. I'm intrigued. If it's the game I'm thinking of, where you kind of float through space and it's like that horror, survivor horror inside, like a space station. Is that the one, Sadistic, where they did a trailer for about 2 or 3 months ago? Ghostbusters might be good later. We will be getting Ghostbusters. We will be getting... okay, so I just haven't seen the new trailer then. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out later today. Will I be getting Ghostbusters and Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yes, because I play horror ASIMs. That's what I do. We'll be playing them all. Right now, we are firmly in the Evil Dead phase. And there's a lot still going on with Evil Dead. Evil Dead's just in its infancy. And it's off to a really good start. I mean, it sold 500,000 units, which is way better than I anticipated. So right now, did you play and like Evolve? I loved Evolve. I was sad what happened to Evolve, to be honest with you, Sadistic. I was a monster main in Evolve, which, and then overnight the game just dried up. It was terrible. How would they bring in new demons since there's only 3 demon classes? So I think what's going to end up happening is until they decide they're going to expand classes, right now we've seen really, for sure, 2 demons that are coming. Probably 3 with the way it looks like with little Lori. So Baal or Bale, depending on how you want to pronounce his name, my guess will be probably going to Puppeteer class. I think they'll probably put Ruby in Warlord. And then probably Little Lori and Necromancer is probably my guess. When I did the preview for Bale, way before he was even leaked, or even before the game came out, I think I did that video like a month and a half ago. I absolutely thought he was going to end up being a puppeteer, and I still stand firmly by that. I mean, he's perfect for the puppeteer class. So That is my firm belief for that one. Yeah, Evolve, like, I was really getting into Evolve, and it just died overnight. Like, it was such a terrible misexpenditure of money, and it was sad. It was really sad. I enjoyed the game. I think that game died faster than Anthem. I'd like a support good Ruby. So, first of all, if Ruby gets in the Survivor side, she's going to be a warrior. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it, Matthew. There's no other way to put her. Master of Weaponry. I guarantee you, if Ruby does get added to the Survivor side, which I'm all for, like, I think Ruby could be easily in both. I think Brandy would be a hunter. So here's the thing, and I've said this before, but since we're doing a podcast today, I'm just talking about, basically just chatting about cool shit. I think there's 4 characters I always thought were guaranteed slam dunks, and then I thought there was 2 that were like a smidgen behind them. And the 4 I thought were slam dunks were, was Belle, Ruby on the demon side, which it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. The next 2 I thought were slam dunks were Sheila from Army of Darkness, and I think the other one was Dalton. Dalton's popularity, even though he was in only 7 episodes of season 3, is ridiculous. Like, on most times, he is absolutely on most fan lists, like right behind the original Ghost Beaters and Ruby. It's ridiculous. I don't know why Dalton has such a huge cult following, but he sure does. And then I think right behind them would be Chet Kaminsky and then of course Brandy Williams. So wish list. You can add anything to the Evil Dead, no budgets. What do you do? Ooh, if I had no budget and I could just wave a wand and poof, it's in the game. I think the thing I would love to do. Ooh, wow, that is really good. What I would like to do would be Jason Voorhees. That would be the one thing I would want. Jason Voorhees was literally the first video I did about Evil Dead the game, and I would pay Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham whatever they wanted to get both of them happy, and I would add Jason Voorhees as a warlord killer. That would be my wish. A Xena skin for Ruby. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. Like, a lot of people are all about, like, does that mean though we need an Autolycus skin for one of the Ashes? So Pitwitch, I think is going to be added as a character or a trap in the Castle Kandar. There is a picture of Pitwitch in the Castle Kandar leaks, and I did post that, or not leaks, excuse me, the rough drafts they posted. So I think we're going to see that. We got to fight the other one in Mission 5, so we got to fight Pit Demon in Mission 5. I think Pit Witch is very, very possible. I like the simplicity of the S-Mart feature. Absolutely. So S-Mart, if you watch the video today, it looks like there's not going to be an actual marketplace, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that's actually a really, really good idea. I hate when games clutter your load page, but it looks like you can go into each individual character, and when you click over to outfits, it'll take you to the S-Mart for what you need to buy for them. Briscoe County Jr. Ash? Absolutely. I love Briscoe County Jr. more than any other series that Bruce Campbell ever did. Believe it or not, Briscoe County Jr. was like my favorite show. I love it. I have the box set on DVD of both Briscoe County Jr. and the complete series of Jack of All Trades. What's going on, One Wolf? How are you doing, buddy? But yeah, I think that's things we're going to see coming down the line. I still firmly believe Jason Voorhees is in the running to be one of the first crossover characters. I hope they add Mia at some point. Yeah, so here's the thing. Mia is going to be coming. There's no ifs, and or buts. We've already kind of had a soft confirmation from Bruce's son, Andy Williams. or Andy Campbell. Sorry, Andy Williams. Andy Campbell's already kind of soft confirmed that we're both getting a 2013 and an Evil Dead Rise DLC pack. So One Wolf, I absolutely disagree with that. The leaders are huge boost to damage if you build them right. I'm an Arthur main, and my Arthur can wreck pretty much anything. Actually, all the leaders are pretty good. Even Annie, who's way down my list, she has some amazing abilities to bust up some balance bar. They're actually all very, very good. What do you think the season pass will give us for Evil Dead? Here's my prediction. So, based on what I've seen today, I think we will absolutely get an Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, so, yeah, so did you watch Bruce Campbell's movie Black Friday? I have not seen Black Friday. Okay, let me answer all these questions one at a time. So the first question is, what I think we're getting season pass. I think the season pass will probably have a killer in all 4 of them. I think Bale and Ruby will be the first 2. I think Evil Mia will be the 3rd one, and then whatever the killer is for Evil Dead Rise, because we haven't seen a lot from Evil Dead Rise, but I think Evil Dead Rise will be the last one, so it'll be 4 from that. I think we'll get 2 survivors in each. It looks like we're gonna get it's possible we could be getting Shelly and Tanya much quicker than I thought, and then I think we'll get Mia and Nick from 2013, even though 2013 for me is just nothing. And then the female and the male stars of Evil Dead Rise, I think we get Brandy, and I think we may or may not, I don't think we'll get Ruby Survivor in the first season pass. I think we'll get her in the second one when people start clamming for it when they're not. It's really, okay. You mean Army versus Darkness Ash? He's a great character. Okay. Yeah. If you want to know how to build Arthur, there is I can just drop it. Vegeta, can you take care of that and drop the Arthur build video in chat for me, please? That would make my life a little easier than me having to find it myself. That would be great. But yeah, so thank you, Vegeta. I appreciate it. I want to use Arthur, but I feel so damn squishy. I boost damage, but can't sustain it. Arthur is a little squishy at first. But yeah, if you use I actually have a 1-24 build for him, One Wolf. If you follow that video, and then you can just go ahead and flip the switch at 25 to a DPS monster. I still gonna lock him and Pablo. Sadistic, I have videos for both of those. I want Coogie, the mascot from Ash vs. Evil. Leland South, I've done a video on that. I absolutely think Coogie would be amazing and could actually start his own class. So I'm 100% with you. So does everyone want to see what my my tier list looks like after 2 weeks of playing? Has it gone up? Has it changed? Is it pretty much exactly the damn same? All right, here we go. The new tier list. Let's get into that since we're talking a lot about characters. Yeah, I have full walkthroughs for all 5 of the missions, and I show you how to put them on easy mode by getting the best weapons first and then play them. Except in mission 3, you kind of just have to speed that, but I show you like the best way to do it. All right, so I'm gonna let you know who my original version was. So if you haven't watched it, it's actually, I think my highest video is like 3.5K views, which for me is really, really good. You know, my original tier list started at number 13. Whoops. Bet. Absolutely, One Wolf. You're in the right channel if you're looking for knowledge. That's all I do is I drop build videos, I drop walkthroughs, I do some theorizing because, you know, it's fun. So for tier list, here we go. So when I did my pre-launch tier list, this was based on playing all the characters initially in the beta. And I dropped it on launch day. And it was number 13 was Ed Getley. We all know I shit on Ed. Number 12 was Evil Dead 1 Ashley Williams. Number 11 was Scotty. 10 was Annie Nobi. 9 was Evil Dead 2 Ash. 8 was Amanda Fisher. 7 was Ash versus Evil Dead Ash. Number 6 was Cheryl Williams. 5 was Kelly Maxwell. 4 was Pablo Bolivar. 3 was Henry the Red. 2 was Army of Darkness Ash. And 1 was Arthur. Lord Arthur was my number 1. Just sub, thank you. I appreciate it. Scotty doesn't know. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you for the sub, One Wolf. That is an amazing reference, and it's a shame that a lot of people are unaware that Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Whoa, so don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. All right. My new revised 2 weeks in list starts now. And speaking of Scotty doesn't know, he fell to number 13. He is down 2 spots. Sticky Nugs, what's going on? So number 13 on the new list is Scotty. We will be dropping a video on this probably today's Wednesday, so probably Friday. So that way I can actually hear myself in my headphones, give myself another day. But we will be dropping the new list. But number 13 is Scotty. Scotty has dropped 2 spots to number 13. Coming in at number 12, down 3 spots, is Evil Dead 2 Ash. Sad Scotty, I know. Scotty doesn't know. Chill, not Scotty. Down 5 spots, the farthest faller in the entire list at number 11 is Cheryl Williams. Whoa! And you're going to be like coming at me, but I'll explain why if you have any questions on this list. Sitting at number 10 with no change, one of 2 people who did not move up or down is Annie Nobi. She's at 10 pre-launch. She's still at 10 right now. Coming at number 9, the mask, without a doubt, if I just graded this strictly on quips, he would move up to probably number 1. But we're not doing that. It's Ed Getley. Ed Getley is up 4 spots to number 9. He is no longer in the basement, ladies and gentlemen. Ed has got himself out of the basement. Number 8, dropping 3 spots, Kelly Maxwell. Coming in at 7. Nah, Cheryl's trash. Yeah, she's the furthest faller. Ed Getley was the biggest climber. Cheryl was the biggest faller. Number 7, the other no change was Ash versus Evil Dead. Ash still sitting at number 7. Coming in at number 6, up 3 spots, Evil Dead 1 Ash, making him the 2nd highest support now, coming in from the 3rd. Number 5, down 2 spots, is the best tank still in the game, Henry the Red. Coming in at number 4, down 2 spots, Army of Darkness Ash. Coming in at number 3, up 5 spots, the biggest mover of all. I thought Ed Getley was the biggest mover. He moved up 4, but Amanda Fisher moved up 5 spots from 8 to 3. Down 1 spot at number 2 is Lord Arthur. And we have a new best in game up 3 spots. And that's Pablo. Pablo is now number 1 on my list. He was number 4 on my initial list. You can get Kelly's bleed up to 94 by shooting the demons too. Yes, you can. Kelly's very good. It's just some of the other characters I just underrated. Like I had Kelly at 5 on my initial list. She's still in the top 8. Like she's still pretty much top half. But you know, Kelly dropped. Kelly was a little bit of I kind of went back and forth on whether I was going to put Kelly or Ash at 7 and 8 or flip them and have Kelly be 7. But I ended up going with Ash versus Evil Dead Ash. But who knows? On my next revision, she could jump over him. I don't have a 25 Kelly to really test the Frenzied as much as I'd like to. Amanda's amazing. So, in my opinion, the 2 best perks that you can pop in the game is number 1 is still Wrath. Lord's Wrath is just absurd. Because here's the thing, unlike Ammo for Days, which is Amanda Fisher's perk, Wrath affects everyone, and it reduces Arthur's fear. Like, Wrath is ridiculous, and he can keep Wrath going. Are you going to do this on Tier List Maker? No, see, everyone does it on Tier List Maker. I feel like I didn't do it the first time on Tier List Maker, but I mean, I could. I could break out Tier List Maker because I didn't really put them in like tiers. Although, to be honest with you, I could put them in tiers. I mean, that's something I haven't done, One Wolf, but I definitely could. Yeah, so that's one of the things. A lot of people do Tier List Maker, so it's kind of one of like, do I really want to do that like everyone else does? I mean, Tier List Maker is convenient, and there actually is one for Evil Dead. I actually saw Pixels do his tier list with Tier List Maker, so it's kind of the reason I didn't do it that way, but, to each their own. Just to get the visual characters. Well, trust me, I mean, I can post the list right now. Let me just make a copy of the list, and I will post it. So my revised list is what we want. We'll do that. And I'll just post a copy of the list, and then I'm going to drop a video for this, and I'll break the whole thing down. Here's the whole list. It looks a little weird. I should have probably spaced it a little more. Here, let me do this again with the actual spaces. See, the spaces are there. They just crushed it. See, that's dumb. Yeah, they just crush it together every time I try to adjust it. Don't worry, there will be a video the next day or two. You can just go right to the video. Like, you can actually see my video, and it's actually broken up into chapters for the first one, but yeah, I'll definitely make a difference. Any tips for not dying as Arthur? I swear I take 4 hits from him as a boss and just GG's. Okay, so yes, when you're doing Arthur as leveling 1 to 24, you're gonna want to focus on building up his health and his you want to make him a little tankier and not worry so much about damage. At level 25, you're gonna flip the switch on him, One Wolf. Let me bring up my game, and I can probably show you what I mean. I actually did a full video on the build for him prior to 25. Best team: Pablo, Army of Darkness, Ash, Amanda, and Lord Arthur. Yeah, you can do it that way. That's a really good team. Pablo and Arthur, I 100% agree with. Amanda is the best range DPS. I think you can swap, in my opinion, Army of Darkness, Ash, and Arthur are just so good together. You can also do Henry in place of Amanda if you want to go PvP or with a tank instead of a DPS range. So here, sure, Leland. So the reason that I put Pablo from 4 to 1 is, yes, he is absolutely untraceable. But here's the reason why I put him at number 1. You do, with the fact that his shield regeneration is so absurd, it makes him virtually unkillable and can basically make your entire group unkillable. And that is why I underrated how good that was, because in the beta we were kind of capped. We never got to see full effects. And at 25, it is just unreal. And as a Pablo main, you're living good right now. Do you think we'll get a crossover with Jason DLC in the future? Absolutely. Did a huge video on it. It's got like 3,000 views, Jordy. Absolutely. And it was actually something we were talking about. AOD, Ash, and Henry is a dumb combo with a support fourth that doesn't... Oh, dumb good? Or... I mean, Scotty has some good abilities. Like, so when you're number 13 on my list, it doesn't mean you're a bad character. There's... Like, even at 13, the characters are all pretty balanced. Like, Scotty is really good. His fear reduction is fantastic. Like, if you get possessed playing Scotty, it's because you did something wrong. There's like, but sorry about the Scotty slam. So like, for example, we'll go over here. Let me bring up my, we'll do this for just a second here. I wasn't planning on bringing up my screen, but we can do that. All right, bear with me for just a second. I don't have my capture card open. Bear with me in a couple seconds. Scotty doesn't know, whoa. So don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Got it. We're gonna flip the scene here just for a second. Yeah, dumb good. At first I was reading, so you gotta remember, One Wolf, I'm reading 2 different chats and I was like, wait, that's a dumb comment. Not in my book. So, ta-da! Anytime. Who's the best leader and warrior? Sure. Best leader, in my opinion, hands down, without a doubt, not even close, is Arthur. He's still my second best character in the game. Best warrior is Army of Darkness, Ash. Scotty does the work. So here's my level 25 build. Now, if you're having problems surviving, what you want to do is you want to make sure you're putting more into cardio, more into max out cardio, max out Artful Dodger, max out Industrial Strength. These 3 will save your life, and then go into Amulet. Because right now you're not worried as much about DPSing, because you're going to get that DPS boost from Wrath and from your own masteries, both Master Weapon Heavy Attack and Master Weapon Melee. If you're sticking with a sword, you're going to do plenty of damage your own right, and then you want to make sure that you're boosting your auras, and maybe some, and then get I Can Still Help. And that's all in my pre-list. Who do you think they'll add as DLC survivors? I'm hoping for... Yes, so Brandy and Chet I've talked about, Leland. They're on my right behind. I think the 2 that are slam dunks is, I think we're going to get Sheila from Army of Darkness, and I think we're absolutely going to get Dalton because he just finishes like way high on everyone's popularity list. And then I think Chet and Brandy are right behind him. But I also think we're going to get... so hopefully that helped, One Wolf. Did that make sense which ones to go into? So you want to max your aura, or Great Influence, you want to max Master of Influence, and you want to make sure that you're kind of living right here. This is where your survivability comes from. These perks right here. I also think we'll get some characters from Evil Dead Rise, and we'll get characters from 2013 as well. This is my 25 build. So right now, this is my level 25 build. This is a completely different build. This is a Wrath DPS build. So this is my Wrath build for 25. So Pink F upgrade path. So the first thing you always want to do is your first 3 should go 1 into melee, 1 into fear, and 1 into stamina. And then if you're running with a Pablo, then you want to max your shields out as quick as you can, because Pablo will feed them like a Pez dispenser. Abomination? You mean from like Marvel Abomination? Your Arthur's 23? That's, I mean, you should be able to max him out in a couple more matches. That's awesome. Here, I'm gonna close this. We don't need this. But it was more to show you what my 25 build. But yeah, these are the perks that are gonna make you survive. Cardio, max. Artful Dodger, max. Industrial Strength, max. And then put points here and here. And then if you can get Echoes of Aura, that's great. It's depending on how you're building it. But I show you in that video how to get the full 1 to 24 build, and then how to flip the switch if you just want to go straight DPS, this is my best Wrath build. That's what I call it, the Wrath DPS build. And even with that, Evil Mia from 2013, Evil Dead, yeah, we're gonna get her. So Evil Mia is definitely coming. I think we're gonna get 3 characters from, sorry, let me get back to my normal screen. I think we're gonna get 3 characters from Evil Dead 2013. here's who I think we're gonna get. Evil Dead 2013. I think we'll get the Mia, Dark Mia. I think we're gonna get regular Mia, and I think we're gonna get David. Which, although in my opinion, the best character in the whole movie is Eric, and I don't think we'll get him. We jump a boss, doesn't matter. Melee boost. Okay. Pablo with Henry the Dead is kind of insane. You're constantly giving Henry max shields. Absolutely. Pablo with Henry, Army of Darkness Ash, or Arthur is just money in the bank. It is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like at that point, you're just on easy mode. Especially if you're playing Pablo right. Like there's some Pablos that I played with in random matches that for some reason don't feel that you should be doing shields for people. It's really weird. Like I don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to play their class. And it's kind of weird. But yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. But yeah, that's how you build Arthur. Arthur still in my book is number 2. And I really struggled with it. I almost kept him at number 1. But Pablo moved up. Pablo is just so overpowered. Those shields, and you spec into shields, like, you're immortal. It's amazing. Who do you enjoy playing the most? Ed Getley. I enjoy playing Ed Getley the most. Ed is way more fun than he's worth. Ed Getley has some of the best lines, and it's just straight 80s cheese, and I absolutely love it. Right after Ed, it's Kelly. Kelly's probably my second favorite to play. I mean, I enjoy playing Arthur, but he just feels bulky. But he's a great character. Yeah, so it's funny. I had no intention of going to Ed so early. Like I'm planning to max all the characters, but Ed was basically I did a video called Ed Getley the Worst Survivor, and when I did that, my community decided that I needed, when they got the choice after I maxed Arthur, I gave them in both chats, YouTube and Twitch, I just said, guys, have at it, vote now who you want me to level, and we let it go for the last match. I knew I was at like a pixel away from maxing Arthur, so we had a match to do. We knew it was coming, and they just ran away with it. And I got Getley'd, and I have to admit, I really enjoy playing Ed Getley. Much more than I actually should, because he's not a terrible character, but the lines are just amazing, and just absolutely amazing. Ed's level 25 ability is mad broken right now. His spawn rate is way over the boost you're supposed to get. So if you have a 25 Getley, it's Legos for days. He is way overproducing his legendary rate right now. And it's probably going to get nerfed because it's way over than the calculation. Like everything he touches turns to gold. He's got like the Midas touch right now. It's absurd. Yeah, 25 Ed Getley is a freaking loot pinata. It's one of the reasons he got bumped up 4 spots on my list. The quips would have, if I was just basing on in-game lines, Ed Getley would be number 1. He's got the best lines in the game. It makes him way more fun to play than you really should. But his level 25 ability is really, really good. So, yeah, that is exactly one of the things you have to deal with Ed is when he gets to 25 and he gets Loot Hunter, it is really producing a lot. I mean, the amount of pink fox and legendary weapons you get from that is broken, just broken. And he's definitely one of those characters that he feels a little cumbersome playing the beginning. You feel like, yeah, you have the light ability where you can deactivate traps, and you feel kind of very weak playing him. He feels better at 10 when you get the crossbow weapon mastery, and then at 25 your group can So at 25, your group can just overpower a demon really, really fast because you have to loot so much less to get ridiculous amount of pink Fs to go along with ridiculous loot on every character. Like, everyone's packing legendaries with a 25 ed. It's absurd. It's so good. Much better than it's supposed to be. If who's my favorite demon to play right now? It would be Elagos. What other maps do you think will come out after Castle Kandar? That's a very good one. I think I absolutely believe we'll get an Evil Dead Rise map, which will be awesome because that'll be a city-based map. It'll be completely different than everything else we played. I think that'll be fun. I think we're absolutely probably going to see a future Wasteland map like the end of Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead. And what was supposed to be the actual ending, or the UK ending of Army of Darkness, where he goes to the future Wasteland. I think we could also see a Purgatory map, or the Deadwoods as it's referred to by the Knights of Samaria. Like, I think there's a lot of places they could really go, because right now we kind of just got like woodsy maps, which is fine. You know, they're a fine way to start, but I think those are definitely something. And I think if we get Jason, I think we'll get a Camp Crystal Lake map, which I think would be frickin' phenomenal. So those are some of the things I could absolutely see coming in as map additions. I mean, obviously we know Castle Kandar is coming next. That is going to be the next map. And here's the cool thing that's also really, really awesome is all maps will be free regardless of whether you have the season pass or not. Doesn't matter at all. No one's going to be split off from the groups. They've already said that. So Saber has already announced that all map additions will go to everyone when they do the update. And that is a key component for an ASIM, because if you're segregating groups away from each other, it just shrinks your player base. I really like why they did that. What kind of active skills do you think Chet, Brandy, Mia, and David would have if they came into the game? Ooh. Wow. That's a good one. I didn't do, so actually I started doing a Jacksonville map. I'd be down with that. Jacksonville. So wow. I think David would probably have actionable to cut the ability. So David I'll do first, and we're gonna call it Read the Book. We're gonna just name these on the fly. And as you know, David resurrected Mia while he read the book and then buried her. So I think he could be able to, if he pops his cooldown, it cuts resurrection either at the stone or picking up a survivor by 50%. I think that would definitely be David's. It makes a lot of sense. He kind of becomes that support character that brings you back to life. Brandy's would be Brandy. Well, Brandy, we'll call Chet's To the Wheels Fall Off, because that makes, or Partners in Crime. So Chet, I think his ability and active skill would be to opening chest increases when you pop it, when you open a chest, it increases the amount of pink fucks. Like they call the ability like ketamine or something ridiculous, where basically when Chet's opening chest, he gets more pink fucks from it, like he's kind of making them. I think that would absolutely make sense as an ability for Chet. Brandy's, I think it would be endless stamina. So like call it like, you know, Runaway Williams, because Brandy ran more than any character in the entire season 3. Like, she just ran circles around everyone because that's all she did. And I think you pop it and have endless stamina for dodges, for running. That would make a lot of sense. And then for Mia, you know, I think Mia would be a warrior, and I think her ability would be like heroin withdrawal rage, where she gets super strong and does like a boost of damage, especially with chainsaws. Who do you think the top 3 guns and what do you think are the top 3 guns and melee weapons? All right. So first of all, Matthew, I absolutely would be down for a Jacksonville map. That would be a lot of fun. I think all sorts of beach party, holiday skins, I'm all for that. They've already shown that they can kind of go off the map. and do just original skins with the classic connections, I'm full with that. Give me Elagos and a banana hammock. Top 3 guns and melee weapons. Sure. So the best weapon, in my opinion, for melee is probably the lumberjack axe. That thing hits like a truck. And I'm not counting the chainsaw because only ashes can use that. And only 3 of the 4 ashes can use it. So I'm ignoring the chainsaw completely. I mean, if you have an ash with a legendary chainsaw, especially Army of Darkness ash, just forget about it. Like, nothing's coming close. But lumberjack axe definitely would be my number 1 standalone weapon. Number 2 would be the shovel, and we've seen a lot of DPS numbers that the shovel is really good and has high balance bar damage and dismemberment damage. So that would be number 2. And then if you're depending on, and this is the thing, One Wolf, it also depends on what character you're playing, because they do have different returns on different weapons. And then finally, the third melee weapon for me would be it's kind of a toss-up between the machete and the sledgehammer. Swords are really good in the right hands, but they're very specialized. I think if you're not playing like Henry, Arthur, or Army of Darkness Ash, they're not as I don't see the returns for them. But yeah, so those would be the best 3 weapons. Thank you, Foggy. I appreciate that. And then, of course, the best guns in the game. Believe it or not, Blunderbuss is absurd. It's got a slow rate, but it hits like an absolute tank. The Blunderbuss is very good. The Saw Gun is also very good. And the crossbow. All the special weapons are freaking bonkers. Yeah, the shovel's great. All the special weapons, though, definitely have really high dismemberment and can cause a ton of damage. So yeah, all of those work out really well. The revolver is also very, very good if you're looking for like a handgun. And here's the one thing. This is a tip that unfortunately I didn't think I would ever have to make. And probably if you're watching this podcast right now, don't need it. But if you're playing with people, pick different weapons. There's different guns for a reason. I've been in way too many groups where everyone's running long ammo or special ammo or handgun ammo. That's stupid. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why people are doing it, I have no idea. But yeah. And so it's funny is I've played ASIMs, well, for years now. Like, this is kind of the genre that I prefer to play in. And as I've gotten older, asymmetrical PvP has definitely become a genre that I've kind of fallen in love with. And at first I didn't think I would really enjoy it, but I love Friday the 13th. I've played Dead by Daylight for a long time. I played Predator Hunting Grounds. I played Evolve. ASIMs are just my jam. I love them. I love Evil Dead, obviously. I mean, I really leaned in hard and kind of built my channel around Evil Dead. So, but I was covering Dead by Daylight way before that, but I was just such a little minnow, a little swimmy. Thank you. You're no problem, One Wolf. Ask any question you want. Anyone can ask any question. I absolutely am. That's what I'm here for tonight. We're just chilling and talking about the game. My mans didn't want to give up the handgun ammo, and I had a legendary revolver. That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid. Yeah. People are stupid. Also, they have still not fixed the pistols on Amanda. So if you're running Amanda, as soon as you can get rid of her freebie pistol and switch to any other weapon, you'll do more damage. Are you excited for Texas Chainsaw? Yes, I will be playing Texas Chainsaw. I will be playing Ghostbusters. And we'll be doing coverage on both a little more when stuff starts really coming out to go along with the Evil Dead stuff. But yeah, I think Texas Chainsaw is going to be a lot. I mean, I still play Dead by Daylight. I'll be honest, we did a stream last Friday of Dead by Daylight. I'm sure I'll check out the 6-year anniversary stuff starting June 7th. I don't think I will buy the chapter this time, though. And I've bought chapters for years. Like, I can't remember the last chapter I didn't buy. But I don't think I'll buy the chapter 24 that comes out on the 7th, even though Dredge looks freaking awesome. Dredge looks like he's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll probably end up breaking down. Or someone in the community will be like, here's a donation to go buy the chapter. And I'll be like, oh, damn it. All right, I'll do it. Because that happens a lot on the channel. People are like, go buy that. So for me, what I always did, and one of the things that made DBD and me never really like go our separate ways, is I kept it. So I used to play Dead by Daylight every day, and it was awful. It's just awful. Like, I enjoy playing Evil Dead so much more on a daily basis than I have Dead by Daylight in a long, long time. But as a killer, it's fun to play once a week. So what I used to do is we used to do what's called Sloth by Daylight, and I played on Sunday nights. And I still don't mind playing like once a week. Stopped playing before Pinhead came out. That's fine. Hey, Seahawks, how are you doing, buddy? I don't like DBD. You know, DBD's community is just awful. I have never been part of a more toxic community than Dead by Daylight. It's just terrible. I wish it wasn't that bad, but it really is. Like, there's such a level of entitlement with Dead by Daylight players. It's unbelievable, to be quite honest. Like, I don't get it. I'm not sure why they take it so seriously, but they really do. Like, it's kind of bananas when I think about it, and I just don't get it. Being a killer main is pain now in Dead by Daylight. Now in Evil Dead, I main survivor. That's fine. Playing Evil Dead, the game, makes me wish we got full Evil Dead chapters in Dead by Daylight, like Elegos or Evil Dead. That's fair. So I love the missions in Evil Dead, but there is stuff that I really do miss from Dead by Daylight. Like, tomes would be perfect for earning infernal points. Like, that would be a system I would love to see. Some version of tomes would be amazing. Being a killer is pain now in DBD. Why is that, One Wolf? I only play killer, and I have no problem. Like, I go easy on people with my trapper. I play nice killer. Like, I stop killing people at 2 kills, and I usually hit it pretty quickly. I even let chat choose who I'm killing and who I can't touch. Playing killer is still easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't think, I mean, you're gonna get gen rush sometimes, but I don't really worry about that. But why do you think killer is pain right now? I think killer is easy sauce. I would much rather be a killer main than a survivor main in Evil Dead. Or, sorry, in Army of Darkness. In Dead by Daylight. Army of Darkness, or good gravy. I would rather be a killer main in Dead by Daylight, but in Evil Dead, I feel like it's pretty balanced. Just the survivor perks at high ranks, you see. So, like, here's the thing. Everyone runs the same perks. I mean, all survivors are running is Borrowed Time, Decisive Strike. Like, it's the same shit every day. Dead Hard. It's been the same thing for years. Hey, what's going on, Joe's boys? But let's be honest. All my killers look the same, too. It's Noed, it's Barbecue and Chili, it's Ruin Hex, it's, you know, Fired Up or Blood Warden. Like, it's the same for everyone. Like, everyone, if you play enough and you've played years enough, you're gonna have all the good perks anyway. Healing Boons is a mistake. Meh, they're not that bad. You snuff them. The Dredge, though, is going to be really nasty on Boons. His Boon Breaker ability is absurd. Like, I almost want to buy it just to unlock his abilities. But I'm going to be good because I don't know how much I'm going to stream Dead by Daylight. So, I don't want to spend, like, it'll probably be $10. I don't plan on spending the money on it. So, that is not a plan, even though Dredge looks amazing to play. And I got to watch some of the test realm stuff. Well, congratulations, Joes. I'll have to swing by once you start streaming again. Yeah, I love supporting the community. That's an awesome thing to hear. Healing boon. So all the boons really don't bother me that much, and I play killer almost exclusively. Like, I haven't played a survivor main in years. Like, I went through phases. I think everyone goes through phases because it makes the game fresh when you play on different sides. Like, probably the first 2 or 3 years I was a survivor main, and then the last 3 years I've been a killer main. It is Wesker. Oh, we're going to talk about that right now then. You want to talk about Chapter 25? They've announced Chapter 25. So, only streaming on the weekend? That's awesome. So, Chapter 24 drops June 7th and is a original chapter with a killer, a survivor, and a new map. And the new killer, the Dredge, is pretty awesome. And then coming Labor Day weekend estimate, we haven't got a firm release date, but it's about 3 months out probably from the launch of the 6-year. Because typically you're launched during the anniversary, and then Labor Day weekend you get the next chapter. And the next chapter is Chapter 25, and it is Resident Evil Project W. Albert Wesker is getting added as a killer, which will be awesome. Ada Wong is getting added as a survivor, as well as Rebecca Chambers are both getting added as survivors. So all the Ada Wong people can finally shut up that she's getting added. I enjoy Dead by Daylight. Oh, absolutely. Playing as a survivor is boring as all get out. You know, and especially now, like, I don't know if I could go back to being a survivor after playing Evil Dead, because it's just so boring. Like, hitting someone with a flashlight does not give me the gratification that, you know, hitting someone with a chainsaw does, or a crossbow. Yeah, Ada. So all the Ada people can finally shut up, and I will absolutely spend the money for Resident Evil 2, and I'm sure we'll see it on my channel. I love me some Wesker though, One Wolf. I love Wesker so much. Like, when we got Nemesis, I was like, that's cool. Nemesis is fine. I hate playing as Nemesis. Like, people make me do it sometimes when I'm streaming just because they know how much I hate playing Nemesis. But man, give me Wesker and I will have a hard time, like, not playing for like a week straight. Like, we might see a week of DBD just because I want to play Wesker. Yeah, like, playing a survivor is freaking awful. They haven't said what the map is going to be yet. They have said the survivors and the killer, but we are getting a map with it. They just haven't said it. Spencer Mansion would make a lot of sense. I think Spencer Mansion would be perfect as a map. Hey, Zombie, what's going on, buddy? But yeah, I will be honest. Like I said, I don't see me buying Chapter 24. I just, because I'm not going to be playing enough. If I were playing Dead by Daylight, you know, 2-3 streams a week, and then streaming other stuff, yeah, I'd buy it because I'm going to be playing it every day, or every other day, or whatever I was playing at the time. But, yeah, I just can't see me doing it. I'm sure I'll play a little bit during, you know, I don't know. I'm wondering. You finally got some wins. Way to go, Zombie. I wonder what they're going to do. I'm sure we're going to get some sort of teleportation. I mean, I think that's probably what they're going to do. I would love to see them do, you know, what do I want to say? Leland, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. I would love to see, believe it or not, the way they had Wesker in the Evil Dead movies, I think would be a really good look with, you know, just the way his trench coat looked in that. I mean, he always wears that, like, kind of like Neo look anyway, but they had him like extra Neo in the movie. I actually really like the look of Wesker in the movies. Like, Wesker was like a combination of Agent Smith and Neo. But I love Wesker, so I can't resist playing as Wesker. It's gonna happen. Like, as much as I'm gonna be like, don't buy Dead by Daylight stuff, I'm gonna buy Dead by Daylight stuff. It's gonna happen. I'm glad to hear it, Zombie. You didn't play with? Did you play with community members? Is that where you got the wins? I thought I saw you in one of the Evil Dead channels. But yeah, so for me, that is way more exciting than Chapter 24. And I get it. Like, I haven't added it, Joe's. I've had an ear infection, so I haven't done anything with my Nightbot. I will add all the additional commands for followage or maybe I have followage, watch time and uptime. Once I heal up, but yeah, I've had an ear infection for like 3 days, so I haven't really been doing a lot on the computer. The only thing I really did was drop a new leaks video today, which is kind of the stuff we talked about in the beginning. Followage I do have. Oh, you're coming up on a year, Foggy. Congratulations. I appreciate that support. Yeah, I need to add watch time and uptime to the YouTube Nightbot, or the Twitch Nightbot, but I haven't done anything because of my ear infection. Yeah, I'm getting better. Like, I'm on amoxicillin. It is what it is. I know, right? But yeah, like I said, a lot of times, I try to like resist buying all the Dead by Daylight stuff, and then amazing community members like Foggy, like will do a donation, be like, go buy Dead by Daylight, and then I do it, and I'm like, all right. I mean, he was the one who purchased Krampus for me when I came back, so shout out to Foggy. I salute you. But yeah, we're I think playing a survivor on Dead by Daylight versus playing a survivor on Evil Dead is night and day. And I'm hoping the survivors in Texas Chainsaw Massacre are much more Evil Dead-esque than Dead by Daylight, although I have a feeling they're going to be somewhere in between. Like, I think they'll be not nearly as passive and hidey as they are in Dead by Daylight, but I don't think they're going to be nearly as aggressive and go splitting brains like they are in Evil Dead the game. But I haven't really seen a lot in the way of gameplay yet. All we really saw was, I almost said Bubba. All we really saw, screw it. All we saw was Bubba like chasing some people down. So, you know, and I feel like I'll probably always call him Bubba because, you know, you played Dead by Daylight for so many years, he just kind of gets like wrapped into your brain. And that's definitely one of those things that I think could probably lead to a problem down the road for Dead by Daylight. We've already seen it with Stranger Things when in November they basically, Netflix said, we're done, that's it, no mas, and they took their toys and went home. And I have a feeling with all these ASIMs coming out, you very well will see Ash Williams get removed from Dead by Daylight. I think we'll see Bubba removed from Dead by Daylight, because one thing that Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre have in common is Bubba Hotep Ash. So I don't know. I actually did a full I want Bubba Hotep added as a demon, and I think he would be a perfect I think he'd be a perfect puppeteer. And then I would add Sebastian Hoff as a warrior. Actually, I did a full DLC on that. I gave you everything on that. Enjoy, Joes. I think Wonderlands is easier to go back in on. Warzone is just kind of like so populated. Yeah, Matthew, I did a full Bubba Hotep DLC preview, in my opinion. I gave all 4 perks for Sebastian Half. I even gave some information on what I think they would do with JFK. So yeah, Vegeta, can you post that video as well? You are a gentleman and a scholar. So yeah, I need the Bubba Hotep video, please. While I'm talking to everyone, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. So, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Bubba Hotep. And Dan Cascarelli in general is my boy. One of my favorite series of all time is Phantasm. I love Phantasm more than I really should. Thank you, Vegeta. Yes, I think, Leland, that is 100% what we're going to see. And that's why I said kind of in between the two. Friday was a perfect example. Friday the 13th is probably exactly what they're going to be. Can fight back a little bit. You know, they can stab Bubba, but, you know, he's going to gonna totally overpower him. But yeah, I did a full Bubba Hotep breakdown. Sebastian Haff and JFK as survivors, Bubba Hotep as demon. I gave skills, everything, what I think would be perfect. And Sebastian Haff and Ashley J. Williams have fought together a couple of times in crossovers in the comic books. So hail to the real king. Hail to the king, baby. I would be all for that, Matthew. I actually did a full, like I said, I did a video on it. Because in the comic books, they go way more into Sebastian Haff's background as a monster hunter that Elvis did in his pastime. You know, when he was off, you know, relaxing, where he was basically just being a Winchester. You didn't know that about the king, did you? But yeah, Bubba Hotep is a classic. And Dan Coscarelli, the director of Bubba Hotep and co-writer with Bruce, him and Phantasm's my favorite, like one of my favorite all-time series. If you see him, like, you have to look at my banner a certain way, or if you look at the Discord picture, tall man from Phantasm is in the background. He gets kind of cut off on my banner, but you can see it me when I'm on full screen. You see it in my intro as well. Good afternoon, Cease. How are you doing? Yeah, you see tall man from Phantasm in my intro, you know, with Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. And then, of course, Visor Sloth version of Ash. But yeah, I'm all for some Bubba Hotep love. Absolutely. What's going on, Cease? Hopefully you're having a good time. But yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of ASIMs coming. The genre is, you know, kind of evolving, and you know, Dead by Daylight sat at the top of the food chain for a very, very long time, and I'm kind of surprised how much they've dominated. Well, it's good to hear that you're home, Cease. Enjoy some evening. I decided to do a podcast tonight because I, you know, can't put headphones on. So I figured I should go live and just talk to some awesome people about all sorts of horror stuff. But yeah, so for me, it's I think it's gonna be very interesting. I think Ghostbusters looks like it's gonna be very fun. I think Texas Chainsaw will be very fun. I think the Dragon Ball Z game will be dog shit. Like, we don't need a Dragon Ball Z ASIM. Stop it. Stop it now. We don't need this game. Well, I'm kind of in the evil. It's an Evil Dead podcast for the most part, so that's why I stayed in there. I mean, I could change it to just chatting, but that's why I went to the Evil Dead, because that's what we're talking about. Like when we did podcasts for Avengers, we just stayed in the Avengers channel. I mean, we kind of spun off a little bit about other ASIMs, but yeah, it's an Evil Dead podcast tonight, so that's why I was doing it. I think that would be awesome, Leland. We know. Sorry, my pillow got like sideways. So we know that Dead by Daylight has been a little bit weird for how they listen to fans. Because, I mean, if they listen to fans, we would have Five Nights at Freddy like 3 years ago. But some of the fan creations are really amazing. I would love to see a contest on either game, to be honest with you. Because, like, some of the people come up with some amazing, amazing stuff. Ghostbusters seemed a bit janky, but I'm excited. Yeah, well, Ghostbusters, I think you're probably seeing like alpha footage. Oh, when they had them playing, you know, it was definitely really early stuff. I mean, the game's supposed to come out in October, but I could easily see that getting pushed back. Excuse me. Yeah, when they had who did they have playing that? Shit. Who did that? I'm trying to remember. Now I'm looking it up. Now, let me see here. Was it Greg Miller? Yep, it was totally Greg Miller. I just remembered. I was like, someone streamed that. Who was it? Who was it? Yeah, it was Greg Miller. It didn't look terrible. I'm not sure like how it's really gonna work. Like, I guess the ghost is going to be the killer, and then you have the 4 Ghostbusters as survivors. It's a little weird, but well, good to hear that, Cease. It sounds like you're making some progress. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks fun enough. It's fun enough that it hasn't been like, oh, I'm not. Hey, Dancer, what's going on? Ghostbusters can't compete with Ghost Beaters. You are correct. I think Evil Dead is definitely going to catch up to Dead by Daylight much faster than most people anticipated. I mean, the sales coming out and the reviews are far better than even me as an Evil Dead content creator would have ever expected. I didn't expect 500,000 units to be pushed the first week. I did not expect the Metacritic score. I did not expect the user score. Like, I was surprised. That's a big house, East. That's a very, very big house. They do not have Pennywise in DBD. I think Pennywise could actually fit very well in either game, to be honest with you. Stephen King has kind of not sublet any of his characters out. He's done movies and comics and, you know, short novels, but for some reason video games usually he just kind of keeps them. Although Pennywise would be really, really cool. And I actually, believe it or not, I actually like 90s Pennywise look much better than, you know, the new version. But the new version was cool, you know. Skarsgård was great as Pennywise, but like for me, like you know, here's the thing, and this is what I'm gonna say. You know, how do I want to put this and not, you know, knock Skarsgård, because I don't really want to do that because his performance was really good. But for me, Tim Curry is Pennywise. Like, I just can't look at it any other way. His Pennywise was just like so terrifying to me as a child. I think, what year did it come out? I'm trying to remember. It miniseries. Let's take a look here. It came out in 1990, so I was 10 when I saw it. It was definitely much more impactful to me, even though they changed a lot of shit. I found out later when I read the books when I was like 13 or 14. When I read that big ass 900-page novel. But you know, I love the look of the original Pennywise. Although I would be cool with either. You know, so you're talking about the Void from the Deadwoods. Is that what you're talking about, Leland? The Void Eater from the Deadwoods that like ate Dalton, swallowed his soul. I think that would be an interesting like I feel like that would be perfect for if they did like a horde mode and he was like the end boss. Like, I think that would be perfect if we're on the same, if we're talking about the same thing. I'm not sure we are, but I think that's what you're referring to. But I think I think we're on the same page. But yeah, I think that would be an interesting addition to the game if they did something like that. I would really like to see the flying Deadites be added for that, like abducted Sheila in Army of Darkness. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be pretty awesome too. But I think the games that we're seeing it's a really interesting time for ASIMs, and for those of you who have watched me before, they know I play a lot of them because that's something I really enjoy. Like, if you started watching me with Evil Dead content, I appreciate that, and yeah, I play a lot of Evil Dead. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Dab? The ear hurts, so I'm not wearing headphones, but that's about it. You know, just doing a podcast tonight. That would be interesting. I could see that. Ceased. They do a lot of video game crossovers, so Dead by Daylight could definitely could get some God of War action. Get Kratos as a survivor. Could you imagine Kratos not fighting anyone and just hiding everywhere, working on gens? So, no, Kratos, you can't hit them, but you get a flashlight. Chains of Fate, no. Warrior Axe, no. Flashlight. Oh, Gears. Oh, General Ran from Gears. Yeah, see, every time I see GOW, I automatically think God of War. But yeah, Gears. That would be fun. Get Marcus. Marcus could hide. Marcus could be a hider. The ED work's going well. We dropped a great video today about current leaks that have kind of come out over the last 2 days. We dropped the new tier list live. I'm going to do a video of it, though, for those who don't want to watch the podcast. So, yeah, there's a lot. We're doing a lot of videos. We have a video coming on. I just did a who should you choose video for leaders yesterday. I'll do a who should choose for support coming up probably the next day or so. I'm trying to keep the videos coming out because, you know, I can't put headphones on, so it makes editing a little tougher. I was able to finish editing today. But so you're doing what you can do. Like, sometimes you just kind of have to make do with what's going on. And as much as that kind of blows, I'm not enjoying the the ear hurting or not being able to do the content I want to do. But it is what it is sometimes. Like, I don't want to push myself and make it get worse, so you kind of just have to deal with it. It's the same thing that happened with my hand when I, banged my hand. I couldn't grip a controller for a day. Like, it is what it is. I've had some of the weirdest injuries since Evil Dead came out. Like, the 3 months I covered the game hard before it came out, not a single thing happened. Is it wrong that you prefer to play against AI on Evil Dead? No. I mean, AI is much more predictable. It's usually not as difficult, so I can understand that. I'm looking forward to boosting up my Elegos, though. I almost beat, like, maxed out characters with a level 5 Elegos. I was like, yeah. Like, if I could have got one more down before they killed my Elegos, I would have been payday. Yeah, that was on today's Wednesday, Monday stream. Yeah, I played Baby Demon do 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 do. Yeah, Elegos is strong as hell. Elegos is probably the best all around demon in the game. I still think Henrietta has the best late game. And probably Necromancer has the best early game, but when it comes to, like, straight all around, Elegos is by and far away the best killer. Like, playing Elegos is kind of easy mode. His power set is so good, and the fact that he can keep, like, the characters that basically do ridiculous balance damage. Like, I went head to head against an Army of Darkness Ash and just owned him because he couldn't lock me. Yeah, so the thing about Elegos that makes him so good is that, like he does, like, basically like a force, like, uses the force and pushes you back, and it stops him from getting, stun locked, and then he can cast lightning on you and stun lock you, and it's a wonderful system to have if you're trying to avoid getting your ass stun locked. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you've watched me play Dead by Daylight for years, I'm a killer main. Like, that's where I want to go. I just been playing a lot with people, so I've been playing on the survivor side. I haven't put it in. Your max character is level 12. That's fine, Ceased. Everyone starts at 0. Well, I guess everyone starts at 1. You don't start at 0. That's a lie. Everyone starts at 1. All of your characters on your roster will always start at 1, and that's how it is. You got to level them up and put the points in to where you want, and you'll find a character that you didn't enjoy playing, or a character that you find that you play way more than you thought. Ed Getley. Like, I never expected to really enjoy playing Ed, but he cracks me up. And now old head Getley has been born. But I definitely think we're gonna see more characters added. We're gonna see more characters that are available for you to choose from, and I think we're gonna see a lot of variance amongst the abilities. And I like the fact that they kept it that you can't play the same character. That I am all for in this game. Even though you can play 4 different Ashes because they're all different characters, and I'm for that too, because let's be honest, Evil Dead is built around Ashley J. Williams. But I like the fact that you can't stack a roster with just 4 Army of Darkness Ashes. Like, that would just be bananas. And I like the fact that you have to know what your teammates are capable of doing instead of just stacking all their perks. Because that's one thing, like, every character of mine in Dead by Daylight looks freaking identical. Except I made, Michaela a little bit different because I used boons on her. But, like, everyone else looks exactly the same. It's like, all right, time to go put Dead Hard on. Or time to go put Decisive Strike on. Or time to put on Borrowed Time. Like, you pretty much run the same perks almost all the time on every character, whether it's a killer or it's a survivor. And I like that is not the approach that Evil Dead the game chose. They're like, listen, this character has 4 perks to that character. No one else. Not teachable, not able to be learned. You have 1 action perk and 3 perks that are passives. That's it. And if you're not playing that character, you don't get them. Sorry for your luck. And I am all for that. I think it's a very, very good choice. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, I've played on tons of 4 Ash groups or 4 Meg groups or 4, David groups and, 4 Michaelas, 4 Jill Valentine's. Like, you see a lot of multi-groups, and they all have the same builds. They're all running the same perks. And it kind of is just like, whatever, if you could play whomever you want, it doesn't make you have to learn to play the game. You just basically build the same character over and over and over and over and over. And that's one of the things that I don't enjoy about Dead by Daylight is that if I'm not playing that character, if I'm playing another character and I'm not playing with the perks I like, it just makes me feel like I'm underpowered, because playing Survivor sucks in the first place. So, like, at least to me. I know there's people that only play Survivor, so if you're a Survivor main in Dead by Daylight, good for you. But yeah, that's not my bag. I don't particularly enjoy it. I did for a couple of years, but now I've gone to the dark side, and I'm looking forward to going more to the dark side on Evil Dead the game. Like, I plan to, when things get to normal and I stop getting stupid injuries or ear infections, to do a couple of community nights a week. One night where I just kill and I'll play demons, and then one night where I get with a good group and let's do gens, lols. All right, guys, who brought their toolkits? And then one night where I'll pick a group I'm going to play with that, are kind of higher level, and we'll power level a character, and, I'll do a build video the next day. Like, that's kind of what it is. So Freddy versus Jason versus Ash 1 is amazing. The first comic book series, Daltrey, is amazing. The second one's kind of, it's okay. I did a video on why I think Jason Voorhees will be added, and I talked about Freddy Krueger a lot in that video. It's like a 12-minute video, I think it's pretty long. Let's see. Let's take a look at the running time of why Jason will be in Evil Dead the game. It's a pretty far back there, because it was one of the first Evil Dead the game videos I did. Like, when I started, yeah, it's about 12.5 minutes, and I talk about everything that caused the end of, I talk about Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. I talk about the lawsuit that killed Friday the 13th. I talk about Freddy Krueger. Yeah, I break it all down there, and I still think Jason is more likely than Freddy, but I mean, I'd be fine with Freddy. I'm a Freddy main, like, I was a Freddy main in Dead by Daylight for years. And people still love watching me play Freddy Krueger when I play Dead by Daylight at night. Like, people will request it. There's like a channel points redemption to get played Freddy, so they still do that. Like, it is what it is. I think there's other characters I've enjoyed playing more now, but or at least lately I kind of like playing more some characters differently now. But yeah, I definitely would love to see both of them added as killers in Evil Dead the game. That would be great. DBD, how are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? Yeah, DBD seen me play Freddy Krueger many times as a killer. But yeah, so I mean, I think the game is going in the right direction. I think Dead by Daylight's kind of trying to find itself. Absolutely, and that was one of the reasons I thought that it was important for Evil Dead to secure the rights to Jason versus Dead by Daylight. Like, if Jason goes to Dead by Daylight, it's another big killer. Like, you know, they have Leatherface, they have Pinhead, they have, sorry, I apologize, Clive Barker, they have Hell Priest. I don't want Clive Barker to, like, rain down hell on me now, by using the old Pinhead. No, they have Michael Myers. There's a lot of huge killers. They have Ghostface. Like, there's a lot of huge killers that have made their way to Dead by Daylight. And it's one of the reasons that Dead by Daylight has had that longevity. I mean, even Nemesis and Wesker now. Like, the reason Dead by Daylight keeps on keeping on is because they have all these great characters to play. Whether it's some of their own, because some I actually play Trapper more than anything right now, who's an original character. But they've added so many really good characters to play that, like, I played Freddy Krueger for years, like, just straight mained Freddy. I've played a lot of Michael Myers. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And that's one of the things I actually brought up of the importance of securing the Jason rights for Evil Dead. If they do that, it just puts a legitimacy of this game is on even footing with Dead by Daylight. And it also opens up a multitude of doors of possibilities for years and years and years of expansion. Because that's one of the things about Dead by Daylight is, you know, big things are coming. Even if they do a couple of chapters in a row that are just their own creations, then you're going to get, like, the ring drop. Sadako is amazing to play. She is so much fun. I absolutely love playing Sadako. Or you're going to get Ghostface. You're going to get Resident Evil Round 2. Like, all these things, you always know big things are going to come to Dead by Daylight because the game isn't going anywhere. People can bitch and complain. People can say things that have gone wrong. People not enjoy it. People, the group, the community can be toxic as all get out. And people are still going to play Dead by Daylight because it's not going anywhere. Like, the only thing that left was Stranger Things. But they had Stranger Things for years, and that's because Netflix is working on their own thing. I still have Stranger Things, so. Mama Steve for life! But yeah, I think it would bring a huge amount of legitimacy to Evil Dead the game if we got Jason Voorhees in there. Is there anyone else anyone other than Jason in a slasher genre that you would canonize as a Deadite? So in the slasher genre, probably not. I mean, I don't think Michael Myers would fall into that. Freddy Krueger is a demon, but he's a dream demon. He's not a Deadite. He's a completely different thing. I would say the closest to being a Deadite, though, would be Tall Man from Phantasm. I think that's an interesting conversation. I mean, Nurse, Blight, Oni, Spirit, Plague. I really like High Speed Killers. I used to play Hillbilly a lot, but his overheat of... What's another horror setting that could support an asymmetrical game? That's an interesting question too. So let me finish up with Cause question. I think Tall Man would be a really interesting one. I think the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers could possibly be pretty interesting. We don't really know much about the origin, even after like 5 movies. I think we could definitely see that as a possibility. I think that would be really cool, to be honest with you. And I think Jeepers Creepers is highly underrated as a horror franchise. And I could definitely see that as a possibility. And I definitely think Tall Man from, like, I know Angus Scrimm has passed, but it wouldn't really be hard to, get someone to go, boy. It's not real hard. I think that would be an awesome, like, I really want to do a Phantasm crossover DLC video. Maybe I'll do one. My love of Phantasm would make for a great video, I think. So Leland says, I main Nurse, Blight, Oni, and Spirit, and Plague in Dead by Daylight. I main Freddy Krueger, Trapper, Sadako, and Pig. That's who I usually play. Those are the ones I go to typically. Is there what's another horror setting that could support it? Oh, Event Horizon would be really cool. Yeah. But see, the thing about Event Horizon, Matthew, is like people would be like basically turning on each other, and I think it would be an interesting, like, it's almost like the best way to describe it would be like hardcore version of Among Us. Is there a hard difference between a demon and a deadite? They share so many characteristics in the movie, it's hard for me to say. So yes, they do in the comics actually explain the difference, which is why Jason is a deadite and Freddy isn't. Jason's mini boss is Victor Crowley. I mean, I can see that. But yeah, they do explain the difference. And it's the origins. So like deadites come from the Kandarian so it's like there's a whole lore behind what makes a deadite versus a demon. So like Freddy's demon origin is different. They're all demons, but they're just different types of demons, if that makes sense. But yeah, so like for example, put a 1 in chat if you've seen Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. And this will be for the purpose of the exactly what we're talking about. So there's a few people that have seen Drag Me to Hell. So Drag Me to Hell is set in the exact same universe as The Evil Dead. Raimi has confirmed that. It's not. They're never once mentioned deadites, because the Lamia comes from a different demon origin. It's very similar to like how Krueger comes from a different demon origin. There is a difference from a deadite with a Kandarian background versus a dream demon with Freddy Krueger, or the Lamia, which is the gypsy guardian demon. So it's weird the way they set it up, but that is the lore. So that was what I was kind of playing by. You kind of play in the sandbox they give you, if that makes sense, Kaw. Pazazu from Exorcist, that would be cool. Started spitting pea soup at everyone, Matthew. And some crucifix action. Wink. Linda Blair was super creepy. And you know what's funny is I saw a meme the other day, speaking of Exorcist. And it was like, in the 80s, when I grew up, everyone's first horror movie was seeing Exorcist at 5. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of true. I think Exorcist was, if not the first horror movie I saw, it was probably right after Nightmare on Elm Street. Like right there. Like I don't honestly remember which one was first and which one was second. But I think they were definitely really, really close. Although I am a rabid Nightmare on Elm Street fan. And so it's just kind of one of those things. I actually did a video on why I think Drag Me to Hell is worth being brought into it as well. Like it is the same universe. Like it's kind of like 2013 or Evil Dead Rise will be. It's like bringing in characters from Sam Raimi's backyard. And I think it would absolutely make sense. I was just double checking. I was gonna say, didn't Kane Hodder play Victor Crowley as well? He sure did. It's been a while since I thought about that. But yeah, like that for me is definitely kind of the rule set. So that's kind of what I went with. But I think Darkman, Darkman's great. Like, Darkman is so underrated. Darkman and Maniac Cop, I feel, are completely underrated. Bingo. That is exactly it, COD. So they're like a class. Yep. Yeah, so they kind of explain it in different things, like Jason's origin. So it all spreads back to the Necronomicon. If your origin really isn't tied to the Necronomicon, you're not a Deadite. It's kind of the easiest way to explain it. Like, Freddy Krueger has nothing to do with the Necronomicon. The Dream Demon chose him as his partner, and that's how Freddy Krueger was born after he was burned alive. Like, his soul was about to head to limbo, and the Dream Demon's like, "You want to have some fun?" He was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And it's kind of history since then. But yeah, so it's kind of like they explain like where like the source of the Kandarian demon is powered and channeled through the Book of the Dead, and that's why those specific demons are the ones that are summoned from the Necronomicon. Because Freddy could not use the Necronomicon at all. He needed Jason to use it to bring himself back. Deadites don't dome from hell, right? Other demons do. Oh, come from hell. Sorry, I was like trying to figure it out, Matthew. So yeah, they come from other universe. So like some demons, like, so it's hard to explain. Yep. I read it really slow, and I'm like, dome from hell. Oh, come from hell. So Deadites, they come from the Deadwoods for the most part, which is like a parallel hell universe. Bale was in hell though, so they can go to hell. So when he was summoned, that's where he was at. He was in hell. Because the Necronomicon was thrown back into hell to free him. But like like the lesser demons come from the Deadwoods, where the Void Eater was at. But the bigger demons like Elegos and Bale did come from hell. But like the Lamia comes from hell, you know, it just kind of depends. Like, but it's more of like their origin versus their location at the time, like to help him restore his power. And because Jason was summoned back to life with the Book of the Dead, that's how he became a Deadite, when he was summoned from the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake. So that's why Jason could use the Necronomicon to restore Freddy's power, his demonic power. Twice, actually, Alex, twice. One in Jason Goes to Hell, and as well as in Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. So once movie-wise, once in the comics. So yeah. Jason's been confirmed to be a Deadite twice now. So Bill is a Deadite for sure. Bill who? Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. Sorry, Matthew. I'm not sure I'm following your question. Bill who? Because I'm not thinking of any Bills. It might just not be coming to the top of my head. Yeah, so Jason is a Deadite. Like, and that's why when I did my first big video that we ever did on this YouTube channel was, oh, Bill. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Ash calls him Bill. Yeah, Bill is a Deadite, if you want to call him Bill. I forget that, like, that Ash calls him that when he has the fist fight. Yeah, so, yeah. He absolutely is. So is Elegos. Those demons. So basically, it all comes down to whether they have a tie and can be summoned from the Book of the Dead. Like, that is the criteria for you know, from Deadites, because the Book of the Dead can't summon all. It's kind of like regional. Like, So like there's a different Book of the Dead for Egypt than there is for the Kandarians. So like it's kind of like a whole lore thing. I should have got that because I forgot that Ash calls him Bill when they fight. But yeah, so that's why in the comics, Jason is used by Freddy again to use the demonic power to help charge him back up because he can't use it himself because he's not an actual Deadite. Bill Overbeck from... No, he's talking about Ball. How Ash refers to him as Bill in their fist fight when they have the battle at the end of season 2. Bill Overbeck is a cancer stick walking. He's okay, you know, not dying by the hands of hordes. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, and Bill ended up in Dead by Daylight. It was another video game crossover. They've had 4 now. You had Silent Hill, you had Left 4 Dead, you have twice now a double dip of Resident Evil. So here's the thing. Event Horizon is a very, very, very good movie. And if you haven't seen Event Horizon, I highly recommend it. I actually have it on Blu-ray, I think. Let me check. I think I have it over here. The Event Horizon is a fantastic science fiction horror movie. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is the creepiest you will ever see Sam Neill. I did not know that, Foggy, but now I want to see that. If you have pictures of that, please post them in the Discord. That's amazing. 4K in August. Sweet. I don't have a 4K version. I just have a Blu-ray version. Event Horizon is a very underrated film. You know, it's one of those films that you don't really think about a lot. I enjoy it, and I've seen it many times. But you kind of like don't think about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I want to watch the Event Horizon. I'm sure that is pretty awesome. A full-size, life-size Jason Voorhees statue at Lake Louise in Canada. That is amazing. I want to see that now. Like, that sounds like a vacation spot. Where are we going? We're going to Lake Louise. Why? Because there's a full-size Jason Voorhees to go hang out with and take pictures with. I'm there. All right, Leland. I think it's an exploit. It absolutely is an exploit. Weapon canceling, especially on Elegos, is crazy broken. I think it's not something they intended, and I think it will get patched. People don't want it patched because their DPS is way, way higher with weapon canceling. But yeah, I think it's going to get fixed. Enjoy it while it lasts. I mean, it's going to be there for probably another couple of weeks, but I think it's going to get phased out. Especially on, like, swords, Elegos casts, like, crazy broken. It's absolutely an exploit. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. It's an exploit. But, sometimes you play with what... Until Dawn DLC for amazing... Absolutely. Until Dawn is a crazy good game. I actually stream it every October. I've done that for 3 years now, and I'll do it again in this October as well. And we actually were talking about that. I appreciate everyone who subs the channel and, raises the sub count for when they're looking at it, because I just applied for Supermassive Game code for... I just applied with Supermassive Games for a code for The Quarry, which is which is like a spiritual successor to the Until Dawn. So I really hope... And funny thing is, Ted Raimi's in that. So, think about that. So, yeah. So, I just applied for a code for that. Who knows if our little channel will get it. But, we're doing the things. We're growing. We're doing really awesome. It's because of you guys coming in and just hanging out tonight where I'm just basically talking about games and tier lists for 2 hours. But you guys are pretty amazing. And I appreciate all the support you've given my little channel in the last... I could see that. Yeah, I could totally get behind some From Dusk Till Dawn as an ASIM. You know, that would be fun. Oh yeah, it's broken. It's not supposed to work that way. We're gonna hear very shortly from Saber that we're announcing that an unexpected cancellation of weapons was not intended and has been fixed in the current patch. Like, it's coming. It's not how it's supposed to be. From Dusk Till Dawn would be a lot of fun though, Matthew. I could absolutely see that. And there's way more movies in that series than you would think. I would be down for a cool vampire ASIM. Like, I would love to see, like, them get, like, all the cool vampire movies and make a giant vampire, like, asymmetrical game with, like, you know, Interview, John Carpenter's Vampires, From Dusk Till Dawn, Lost Boys. Like, create a giant vampire universe. Like, all the movies are one. Would be the most amazing thing ever. Obviously, my character I would use as a survivor would be Saxophone Guy from the Lost Boys, because he cannot be beat. And if you don't know who Saxophone Guy from the Lost Boys is, you need to watch that movie immediately. You should watch Lost Boys anyway if you haven't seen it, because it's really, really good. The Coreys reign supreme. And Kiefer Sutherland is... Matthew knows who Saxophone Guy is from Lost Boys based on that response. So, what do I think the new Evil Dead movie will be like? So, Evil Dead Rise is coming to HBO Max this October, and I think it's supposed to take place in the city, and I don't know much more than that. I think it's going to be, my guess is, from what I'm hearing, and this could be completely wrong, in your head, well, I'll get to that. We actually talked about that call. I will talk about that again, though. You might have not been here for that. We actually put ones in chat for people that saw Drag Me to Hell. So what my guess is probably the Necronomicon ends up in a museum, and it's going to be you know, a curator or a museum worker trying to decipher the Book of the Dead, and oopsie, shit gets real in the city. Like, that is my guess of what's going to happen. That makes the most sense since it's set in an urban environment. Bruce says it's going to be super creepy, super scary, and he's loved working on it. He's not in it, but he's an executive producer for the movie. He said the script's amazing. So if Bruce Campbell says the script for Rise is amazing, that is high praise for coming out of the gate. In my head, Drag Me to Hell is canon. It is canon. Sam Raimi said so. They find it in the basement of a crowded apartment. Okay. But I'm guessing that was something along those lines. Like, I haven't really looked at much other than who's in it, and it's all. But yeah, so it's going to be, you know, set in an urban, so it looks like it's in LA. I knew it was a West Coast city, but the basement of a crowded LA apartment. All right, so that's the approach. All right, thanks, Matthew. Yeah, Drag Me to Hell set in the same universe. Raimi said that, so. Well, he's never not said that, because they've asked him, and he's like, you know, it's not set. Yeah, so I've heard different things, so who knows? All I know is we know that it's going to be a completely different setting for an Evil Dead series. They've done the past, they've done the woods, but they've never really done city horror, so this is going to be interesting. It's been a lot of stuff kept under wraps. And I'm really excited to see Evil Dead Rise, because the last Evil Dead movie, for me, didn't do a lot. 2013 is just not my favorite. It's okay. I think the pacing was the problem for me with 2013. 2013 is 92 minutes long, and 28 of them is just basically Mia jonesing for heroin. and then you spend 45 minutes of actual horror, which was good. The horror is good, and then 10 minutes wrapping it up. It's really bad pacing. It just doesn't work for me. The best part is like all the post-credit stuff, you know, the full Nobi tapes. You get the Ash cameo at the end. I would have really liked to seen the original ending of 2013. Maybe it would be higher up on my list if that had happened. But you know, they weren't able to make it work, and there was no Ash in the actual film like there was plans to be, the original ending. And so I'm assuming most people here have seen Evil Dead 2013. So if you haven't, I'm sorry, the movie's like 9 years old. So spoiler alert, here it comes. At the very end, after Mia defeats the Dark Mia, she walks into the sunlight, and that's the end of the film. But what was supposed to happen is she was supposed to walk back to the bridge that they turn around on when she's feeling sick with her and Nick, and they drive back to the cabin. She was supposed to walk to the back to the bridge, which was now like not completely underwater, and the Delta was going to be there, and Ash asks if she needs a ride into town, and that was going to be the end. And she was supposed to say something like, "You would not believe the night he had," and he said like, you know, the script like originally had like one line where like she was gonna say, "You would not believe the night I had," as she's holding her arm, and he's like, and he lifts his hand, he's like, "I could probably understand," and it would just be like that tie-in between the original. But they weren't able to make that work, and all they got was the groovy at the end. The song in the trailer was amazing. And the song in the end credits of 2013 is really good too. But like it's just okay. Like people are like, "You should love it. It's Evil Dead." And I'm like, "Meh, it's okay." Like I'm not a 2013 fan. It's okay. Like if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. That was how it was supposed to end. That was supposed to be the ending of 2013. But Bruce had too many commitments. He couldn't do it and had to shoot the groovy on location. They spliced it in at the end. But that was it. And then there was talks that if they would have done it that way, that we might have seen Mia later in if Jane Levy was available for season 3, I think, of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. But like it just never jived, and they were never able to get them really in the same like system. And so they just kind of dropped all that stuff. But yeah, that was how it was supposed to end. And Bruce has said that numerous times, like he's talked about it. And it's a shame it didn't end that way. I think it would have gave more credence to 2013 than we got. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, it was an okay horror movie. There were some really good scenes in it, and there was a lot of boring shit. But it would have been absolutely amazing if that's how it ended. It still would have probably been a kind of horror film, but it would have been really cool. And that's one of the things that you see, like you think about like what could have been with 2013, and you know, it's a shame that we didn't get that, but you know, it is what it is. There's not much you can really do about that. And you know, Freddy. So, Freddy versus my girl. Like, I get that Nancy fans. Nancy Thompson was a S tier final girl, but Alice is my girl. Like, I like Alice a lot better. I think it was more fun with Alice. Probably because of Alice's abilities made her more fun than Nancy, but Nancy was hardcore. So. And it's kind of funny because like we see a lot of conversations about how Mia is a really good final girl, and I'm like, I don't really feel like that, because like the thing about final girls, the classification final girl is Mia doesn't fit it at all. Like she spent the entire movie either spent the entire movie jonesing from heroin, or jonesing from heroin or she spent it possessed. She was human like after she was killed. Like I don't consider that a final girl at all. She doesn't meet the criteria. She didn't spend the entire movie fighting evil with just her wits and skills. I like she's not a Christy Cotton. She from Hellraiser. She's not a Nancy Thompson from Friday the Third from Nightmare on Elm Street. Like she's not Laurie Strode from Halloween. She's not any of those characters. And that's one of those things that I think is weird, is that you kind of keep trying to put Mia into a lot of people try to put Mia into the final girl category, and I don't really feel like she meets that. For me, like, Alice Johnson is a final girl. Like, she goes to war with Freddy Krueger, the entire Dream Warriors and Dream Child. But like, Mia spends like 10 minutes fighting. Like, I don't think that really meets final girl criteria for me. She's fine. I think she's probably the most boring character in the entire show or movie as a survivor. As a demon, she was great. She was great as a demon. I think Eric was probably the most interesting character in the cabin as a human. And then Nick was the final girl. Nick did everything you expect from a final girl type of character. Her brother, whether it was taking out nail gun girlfriend or resurrecting Mia, like, Nick was the one doing most of it. Director's cut. Here's the thing. I'll be honest. Director's cut is a little more gory and has like 3 minutes of additional. It's not a huge difference, whichever one you watch. Like, if you have Hulu, Matthew, the free if you have Hulu, the normal version's on there. It's a fine watch. That's what I saw in the theater. I have the director's cut on DVD. Yes, DVD. And it's not a whole lot different. It's a little gorier, and it's like 3 minutes longer. Exactly. Thank you, Ka. People have argued with me since 2013 on this. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, because that has always been my argument. You can't be the killer. You can't, in a 92-minute movie, you can't spend 28 minutes of it jonesing from heroin and 45 minutes of it being the killer. Like, you can't be the final girl then. Like, I know she literally was the final girl, but that's not the trope, not the group. You can't be the final girl if you absolutely, no problem. It's a great watch. I just watched Drag Me to Hell recently. Exactly. The only person she didn't kill was Nick. He got killed by Eric. Well, he actually killed himself to try to save Mia, but he was going to die anyway when Eric stabbed him with the nail in the neck. But yeah, like, there's so many people that are like, oh, Mia is the final girl. She's such an S-tier final girl. She's just basically female Ash. No, she isn't. She isn't at all. You know who's female Ash? Ashley's female Ash. Ashley K. Williams is female Ash, and she's freaking awesome. And if you don't know who Ashley K. Williams is, you need to read Hail to the Queen, where we meet Ashley K. Williams, the female version of Ash Williams from another universe, and she's amazing. She is a final girl. Like, she's taking names and chewing bubblegum. But Mia spends the entire movie either jonesing from heroin or killing everyone in the cast. Like, she's not a final girl. And I'm very happy Drag Me to Taco Bell. I'm always down to be drugged to Taco Bell. They have Baja Blast, one of my favorite beverages of all time. Danzer, I am always for Drag Me to Taco Bell. Get a couple chalupas and it not due to a lack of trying. No, she did. Yeah, she definitely tried. She gave it the old college try on Nick, but Eric actually was a little more successful. But yeah, like, so many people have argued this for years, and I'm like, I stand firm in my belief that she is not a final girl. And like, I compare her to, like, whether it's Christy Cotton from Hellraiser, Laurie Strode from Halloween, Nancy Thompson, or Alice Johnson from Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, those are final girls. Like, Mia is not, and I it just doesn't make sense. I don't know why people They just like, well, but she was the final girl. That's not how the final girl works. Like, it's if you spend the entire like for example, Sydney is a final girl through and through and she's defeated Ghostface like 74 times now. Like, Sydney Prescott is a final girl. She's not the killer. She saves everyone and she survives at the end. That is the entire archetype of it. But like, there is not a Ghostface killer that wants any part of Sydney Prescott. They all do, but they all lose because she is like alpha final girl. Laurie Strode goes toe to toe with Michael Myers every time and doesn't die, except in, what was it, Halloween 20 they killed her, but that one's retconned out, so it doesn't matter anyway. So what I'm saying is, like, you can't consider her a final girl, even though people have argued with me for almost a decade now that she is. Yeah, I haven't seen. Are we talking about the original version or the remake? I haven't seen the remake. I've seen the original version, and the original version is intense. The original version pulls no punches, but I haven't seen the remake. And I see a lot of horror films. I'm not sure why I haven't seen the remake of I Spit on Your Grave. Blue, the female velociraptor. I mean, she survives a T-Rex. We all love Blue. She's back for Jurassic World or Jurassic Universe or whatever this new one's called. Jurassic something or other. What is it? What's the new one? Jurassic World Jurassic World Dominion. That's what it is. There we go. Got it. Boom. Jurassic World Dominion. Oh. Ripley's great too. Like, I don't know. Ripley versus Laurie? That's tough. The Cleaver Girl from 1. I mean, Ripley's amazing. Like, Ripley is hardcore. There's no doubt about it. Sigourney is S tier. Like, but those are final girls. Like, she's going head to head with a xenomorph and like holding her own. Like, yeah, perfect choice. But yeah, like Ripley fits the final girl, genre. Ripley is OP. Yeah, Ripley doesn't give zero fucks given by Ripley. But yeah, so I mean, she's a human. Like, she's not OP. Like, the xenomorphs have way more power than Ripley does. She's just badass. I haven't seen Alien in a long time, and I really need to. Ripley versus the lady from Terminator, Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor's pretty badass too. Like, Sarah Connor is a final girl. Like, those are the types of characters. Like, and now we're bringing in like science fiction final girls, which is awesome because I love watching conversations spit out. Sarah Connor versus Ripley. I don't know. Xenomorph and Ripley and Dead by Daylight. That'd be awesome. Now here's a question: if this happens, Leland, can xenomorphs crawl on walls? Because I would need that. But they would have the most amazing chest burst Mori. Ripley never made a mistake. Laurie accidentally stumbles through her surviving. So here's a question, Matthew: are we considering the retconned movies part of Laurie now, or are we just doing Halloween kills Laurie? Like, I want to know which Laurie we're talking about now, because now that like all the weird dumb shit of her being Michael's sister is taken out of it, and we don't have the witch anymore, like now that all that stuff's been removed, which version of Laurie we're referring to? Because the one from Terminator IP should merge with AVP. That'd be fun. Then you can have Arnold Schwarzenegger as both Dutch and a T-100. Hey, what's going on, Dookie? How are you doing, buddy? But yeah, so like we could definitely, I mean, I could absolutely see that. Both characters' first film. Okay. Yeah, I want to know where you want to go because like Ripley's got a straight linear, very easy to follow lineage. Like you just go aliens, you know, you just go down the line. Ripley is pretty straightforward. Laurie's a little more murky now that we've gotten, you know, you retconned half of her existence out of comparison. What are you playing, Dookie? We're just doing a Evil Dead / horror podcast tonight because I can't put headphones on. So that's what I've been doing. And right now we're talking about who is a better final girl, Ripley from Alien or Laurie Strode from Halloween. That's what we're doing currently. But yeah, I mean, that would be pretty amazing. You drop a pallet on a xenomorph and the blood burns through it. Ripley does have clothes, yeah. But that's not till later. I think he's talking Alien versus Halloween 1, like 70s Laurie Strode, 78 Laurie Strode versus 84 Ripley? But yeah. I mean, they made Halloween pretty straightforward now. Like now it's very simple. It was an absolute cluster for years because you had like Halloween and Halloween 2, so far pretty normal. Then you had Season of the Witch, which was just what? And then you had Halloween 4, 5, 6, which are like now things are getting weird. Then you had H2O, which was terrible. Then you had the reboot by who was it? Was it Zombie? Rob Zombie did the Halloween reboot, and then that muddied things even more. And then fortunately, Green and Green came along. It's like, no, none of this shit. That's all gone. Poof. You know, at that point, like it was just like, you know, I've had enough. It's all over. We're not doing this anymore. And so you had, you know, Green was like, I've had enough. That's it. And it really made things a lot easier because once Green like cleaned all that out, it was very, very easier to understand things. Because then it was just like, all right, this is fine. And then, you know, that made things far less confusing. Halloween 3 is your favorite? Season of the Witch is your favorite Halloween? What? League of Legends? Oh, I saw you play League last time I raided into you, Dookie. Ooh, yeah, Friday got wild with Goes to Hell, and then Jason X. Other than, you know, now Jason's in space. Like, what? Why is Jason in space? Killing people? Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, F-13 got weird. I feel like Freddy versus Jason kind of brought it back to its roots. But, like, Jason X is just a... I mean, I don't judge. Like, Season of the Witch is, I haven't seen Season of the Witch in a long, long time. But it was weird. It was just weird. It didn't feel like a Halloween movie. I mean, the first Halloween is a classic horror film. Like, the first Halloween is just... Carpenter did good work on the first one. And that theme will live on forever. Like, you can just hear it. Like, you just talk about Halloween, you can hear the Carpenter theme song in your head. It's amazing. Like, that is a tangible memory that just gets brought out immediately when you talk about Halloween. You can hear that theme. Yeah, you know, it's good stuff. Season of the Witch is just weird. App, exactly, Foggy. Like, you can just hear it. Like it's kind of like talking about Freddy. You can hear that 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. You just hear those creepy ass girls jump roping in front of his house. It makes no sense. Jason X is just bizarre. I pretend that Jason X doesn't like actually exist. Yeah, you know, Danzer, you're not wrong. Like, most people still don't know Season the Witch is actually the third Halloween movie. It's so unrelated. It was a weird shift. Like, here's the thing: if Season of the Witch was not a Halloween movie, was just like a horror movie, I don't think people would dislike it as much as they do. Like, I think if it was just a standalone horror movie, I think it wouldn't be, like, no one would talk about it like being S tier, but like people would be like, oh, you know, Season of the Witch was fine. It's kind of like people when they talk about like People Under the Stairs. It's never gonna be like that great movie, but like you're gonna be like, oh, People Under the Stairs was fine. You know, I enjoyed People Under the Stairs. I enjoyed Season of the Witch. But like, I think the problem is it doesn't hold up the weight that Halloween puts on it. Jason X Schlock is great. I'm not going to argue with you on that, Matthew. Like, it is really, really, really good. And the fact that they brought back like the original sleeping bag kill, I'm all for that. When he gets like in the Camp Crystal Lake simulator or whatever it was. Yes, the leprechaun also went to space. I don't know why, like in the early, like the late 90s, early 2000s, they were sending all serial killers, all like supernatural killers to space. But yeah, the leprechaun also went to space. Not sure why, but it happened. I'm the leprechaun, and I'm in space. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, so you know, it was a weird thing where we just kind of sent people to space all the time. There was even like thoughts about, you know, Child's Play, like Chucky going to space, but they didn't do it because they realized that they had gone too far when the leprechaun got there. Exactly, Con. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, Season the Witch would never really be a problem if it wasn't a Halloween movie. But here's the reason why. Like, what happened with Season of the Witch is John Carpenter didn't want to do any more Halloween movies. He did one, he did two. He felt like he told his story. And then they, you know, they got production rights from Carpenter. They wanted to continue the franchise, but he didn't really he wasn't sure that he wanted Michael Myers to continue on, so they decided to do this interim movie, which was Season of the Witch. And it's a fine horror film. It's just a terrible Halloween movie. Leprechaun versus Jason in space. I would watch it. I'm not even gonna lie, I'd watch it. I would then be like, why did I watch this? But I'd probably do it. I'd be like, do I really need to watch this? But I did. Oh my god. Yeah. How Leprechaun versus Jason in space. Or like they actually send Chucky finally out to space and he joins forces with the Leprechaun. So you have the two shortest killers versus Jason Voorhees. Like, I feel like that could be a tag team made in hell. Has anyone watched, and I haven't watched it, it's in my Peacock queue, is the Child's Play TV series good at all? For those of you who have watched it. I haven't watched it yet. It's in my queue. I've considered watching it, but I haven't gotten there. I don't know if this is something I should push up that I need to get to, but maybe we'll look into that after I binge some Stranger Things this weekend, because that's gonna absolutely happen. What is playing right now? Let's see. It is Sidewalk Chalk by Harris Heller. Sorry, I don't have my headphones on, or I could have told you. Yeah, Andrew, it's Sidewalk Chalk by Harris Heller. It's a stream beat song. I'm just running my stream opening loop, so you have some music, but I can't hear anything because I don't have headphones on because of my ear infection. I still need to watch the Gingerbread Man and the Evil Ball movies. Ash versus Evil in Space versus Hell. You know, that's fine. That would work. Gingerbread Man was classic. I still need to watch the new... Another thing that's queued up I haven't gotten to yet is the new Candyman. I have not watched the remake yet. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so normally I would be able to tell you exactly what it is, Andrew, but because of my ear infection right now, that's why we're doing the podcast tonight. I can't actually put headphones on for another day or so, so I had to just actually look and see what was actually up on my Spotify. I was like, what is playing? That's a good question. Yeah, Harris Heller is an awesome dude. He does what's called stream beats, which is completely copyright-free music. So streamers like myself or YouTubers can put that in their background for ambiance, but not actually get a strike. Do you think that would ever have a play with subscribers to Evil Dead game? I do that twice a week, Leland. Yeah, I do Sunday and Mondays is community night. So yeah, absolutely, I think I do that because I already do. Yeah, I do it every Sunday and Monday. I play with community. We do private matches. Sometimes I kill. Sometimes I survive with people. Yeah, we do that all the time. We usually use the Discord a lot for communication. Yeah, go to the Discord. Exactly, Foggy. Yeah, that is absolutely a thing I do. I do that all the time. So that is a yes. Thank you, Vegeta. That's also my Evil Dead username if you want to send me a request, Leland. But yeah, we do community nights all the time. So typically Stranger Things Season 4 looks freaking amazing. I will be glued to it. Yeah, check out the Discord. We have a really strong horror-based community in the Discord. People are playing together all the time. You can avoid randos. There's a looking for group. There is, Evil Dead chat. I post all my videos, so you can just hop right to them for whatever you're looking for. It's pretty awesome. Thank you for posting the Discord, Foggy. Thank you for posting my user ID, Vegeta. So yes, Netflix is working on a game for Evil Dead. Excuse me, for Stranger Things. That's why they pulled Demi Gorgon and Nancy and Mama Steve out of Dead by Daylight, and why they also pulled them out of, what was the other game they were in? Smite, maybe? They took all their toys back because they're planning to do their own game. I'm not sure if it's an ASIM or what. But yeah, they're definitely planning to expand the Stranger Things universe into a video game, and that was the reason they removed them from multiple games. But yeah, so community nights are a thing. I love playing with people. Whether it's private matches, whether it's 4 survivors out in the wild, yeah, that's not a problem at all. We absolutely do that. But yeah, that's kind of, wow, we're at 2.5 hours. I wasn't even expecting to do that. I was expecting to go like an hour to 90 minutes, but this has been such a fun conversation. I just kept going. Maybe we'll do, give me like a couple seconds to get some water. We'll do another half an hour. I get it. I enjoy the upside down lore though, and Demi's a fun killer. So I'll see where they go. I'm looking forward to season 4, to be honest. I mean, I'm a nerd. Like Friday for me is like Christmas with Stranger Things and Obi-Wan. Give me a second. I just need to get some water because I'll get a little hoarse, and then I'll be right back. All right, Leland, I will make sure you're all taken care of in just a moment here. Yeah, sorry. I just realized I ran out of water, so I'm assuming Southman 316 is you? Perfect. Welcome to being a part of the Ghost Beaters. I'll make sure your settings are good right now while we're talking. You're all squared away. Yeah, this season looks like it's gonna be a completely different season, and I'm looking forward to it. I did my first movie review for the Firestarter remake, but I'm contemplating doing individual episode reviews for season 4 of, for the first part of season 4. Obviously, we get the final 2 episodes in July of season 4 of Stranger Things, which is interesting because you don't expect it to be broken up, but the final 2 episodes are 4 hours together. Actually, it's over 4 hours. I think episode 8 is an hour and 45 minutes, and then 9 is 2 hours and 32 minutes. They're movies. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. Or Philippe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correct. I saw the 1P at first. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, Evil Dead content's what I do. It's what we've been growing on and what we're making the move to partner for. So hopefully you guys just keep enjoying and watching videos. Clicking that like button and dropping a comment is huge. So anytime you do that, I greatly appreciate it because for a long time we were the channel on the front page all the time. And right now there's some bigger content creators that are drawing us out a little bit, but we're still putting up a good fight. We did a great video today. We do videos every day. I keep doing, whether it's theorizing or, breaking down what's been leaked or going into builds. I got something for you every day. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's very nice. And when it comes to horror movies and Evil Dead, I have a lot of knowledge in the area, so it makes it very easy to talk. Foggy, we're on YouTube. You're on you posted that in the wrong one. You want that on the Twitch side. Exclamation here. Yeah, you're doing dual duty tonight. You and Vegeta have been holding down the fort. I appreciate it. I just saw that. I was like, oh, exclamation YouTube. Wait, you had the YouTube marker on. You need that. You know what? I appreciate the effort nonetheless. I get it. You mods are the boss. And I love you all for all the hard work you put in while I'm just yammering away. But yeah, we're having a huge party on the YouTube side tonight. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys. And, it was kind of one of my community was like, well, you remember when you did the Brujo show for opening up? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, if you can't put headphones on, why don't you do that? I'm like, it's a really good idea, actually. And then I can at least get a stream instead of taking the night off and missing another one. Last night, I couldn't do anything. The first night of pills, just like, whoa. I was like, all right, this sucks. I haven't been able to take any penicillins in like 25 years. So this is a little bit of a new experience for me. But I appreciate everyone hanging out and just talking about stuff, and that's what's so much fun about doing these podcast type streams and just chilling, talking about Evil Dead, talking about Dead by Daylight, talking about horror movies. I love where you guys kind of drive the direction. I mean, there was points I wanted to talk about, but I had only really scheduled out like the first like 75 minutes, and once we kind of went over that, we've just been hanging out for another, another hour and a half. So it's been awesome. But yeah, so if you're looking for a place to hang out and do Evil Dead or watch Evil Dead content, hopefully I'm becoming your channel. That is my goal, is that you guys enjoy the content. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, I wasn't expecting to really do this stream until this morning. Like, because I was actually like, should I just take another night off because of the ear infection? But they were like, why don't you do like the pre-ho? So when we were doing the launch of Evil Dead, this is actually how this came to be. I hadn't done a podcast in months. So I used to do podcasts for Marvel's Avengers. I did one every Saturday night. And you could find me every Saturday night on Twitch doing Marvel's Avengers podcast. So I decided while we were waiting on Thursday night for it to become Friday, I would do what we called the Brujo Show, which was the first episode we ever did of this more horror-based podcast. And we did it up until the launch of Evil Dead. Because most of us couldn't play at midnight, especially us Xbox guys. Oh, the Howling's great. I used to love the Howling. The Howling and American Werewolf in London were both great horror films. I'm glad you found this community too, Danzer. You're awesome. You are awesome. But yeah, so we kind of did the podcast. It was like a 4-hour stream. A lot of the community that is now very active came in or was found us that night by just hanging out while we were waiting for the game to drop. So when they suggested I bring it back tonight, I just thought, all right, that makes sense. Why don't we do that? I can't put headphones on, so it makes it very easy. Just put a little soft music on the background, and boom, there we go. Yeah, The Howling's a great movie. I actually really enjoyed The Howling and American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in Paris was meh, but American Werewolf in London and The Howling 1 are really, really good werewolf films. Silver Bullet is also a really good werewolf movie from the 80s. That's actually based on a short story by Stephen King. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the community. I think we made a really good group. The Discord's very active and a lot of people talking about a lot of cool stuff. And sometimes like the conversations kind of are all over the place, but that's okay. And whatever your fancy is, there's probably some channel for you to talk about something, whether it's just pure horror movies, whether it's Evil Dead, whether it's the game, or you're just looking for people to freaking play with. Because let's be honest, playing with randos sucks. Because randos are just all over the place. They could be really good, or they could be like hoarding everything that's on the entire fucking map, and you run out of ammo before you even get to the Kandarian daggers. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But with the community here, you can kind of avoid that by just kind of going and talking to the people you want to talk to and grouping up with people that are here. First of all, Koogie's amazing. If you haven't watched my video on Koogie, I break him down to a T, Leland. And I did a video on Chet too, but it was before I really started building like how I think the perks would work, because I started changing my video approach to DLC characters once I actually got to play the beta, because I actually was unable to play the first weekend because my wife was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to play video games. I had signed up for it, but I didn't get a chance to play it. And I did get to play the second weekend pretty heavily. I put in about 20 hours on the second weekend, and it kind of changed my perspective on the videos because I had a little better understanding of the game itself. Oh, I know. It's true. It's true, because they just do weird shit like wandering off, or like hoarding all the stuff, or like grabbing the wrong weapons, or like, hey, I see you guys are all running long ammo. You know what? I'm going to grab a shotgun. No, grab something else. So yeah, it's a great way to avoid all of those pitfalls that can occur by getting to just playing. We have some really, really good players. We have a lot of people who play in this community all the time. And but yeah, that's absolutely. Sorry, I had a bunch of messages coming in. I wanted to take a quick peek and make sure nothing was important. But yeah, so that's exactly what we're doing here, and I just want to make a nice community where everyone can kind of have their own personal interest. At the same time, we all have common interests, and we want to play and make each other better, and just play with characters that you just don't play with, people that you know you can actually rely upon, and it won't be the end of the world. Because sometimes you just get those players that you just won't talk on chat. They won't do their roles, and then guess what? The group they go out and they die somewhere, like on the other side of the map, and then they DC because they're like, well, why did you get me? Like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean I didn't get you? Because you were on the other side of the map doing God knows what, looting the circus cages. So yeah, sometimes it gets a little weird. And that's the thing that you don't see as much with Dead by Daylight, because the maps are so much smaller. The maps on Evil Dead are freaking massive. And so it can set up that like lone wolf nonsense a lot more, because you can lone wolf in Evil Dead or in Dead by Daylight with no problem, and just go work whatever gen you come across, or steal something from a chest. But it's not the same with with Evil Dead. If you bring that lone wolf Dead by Daylight mentality, you're gonna screw your team over, and you're gonna get yourself killed. And I think that's something that some of those survivors, I'm sure, are kind of obnoxious Dead by Daylight survivors who think they can just solo everything, and it's not the same game. Like, you're not hiding or doing those weird things. I mean, yeah, that happens. Like, you're gonna run into some new players, and like, I never begrudge a new player for getting, having a rough time. Like, because you need to learn how to play the game. But there's other players that, the ones that bother me are the ones who know how to play and have a 25 and are still doing nonsense. Like, at that point, you're just being a douchebag. You're just being a jerk at that point. Like, seriously, dude, just do your job. But yeah, like, I love I love playing with new people, even if I lose the match. If I can teach them how to be better players, like, that's part of the things I do on my channel, where I drop build videos. And when I do a build video, I do them a little differently. It's not just like, here's your top tier build for this character. It's how you build them prior to unlocking that 25 perk. Absolutely, Jordan. I should be able to. I'm a little behind just because of the ear, so I haven't been leveling up characters. But yeah, I'll have a Get Lee will be next, and then I think I'm going to go to Kelly for the third character. But yeah, absolutely, Jordan. I will be 100% doing build videos for every character. I just need to get a little more time in. Unfortunately, the wrist slowed me down when I hurt my wrist on opening weekend, because we played all day Friday and we were crushing it. And then I hurt my wrist on Saturday morning when I fell and banged the wrist up, and it was all swollen, and I couldn't hold a controller, so it made it hard to play Saturday. And then, it got better Sunday, but like, it took some time to heal. And now I got this stupid ear infection, so I'm not playing at all, which sucks, because I guess I could probably play Killer a little bit, but I haven't been playing the last day or so because of keeping headphones off. I typically play with surround sound headphones. It's how I'm used to playing the game, so I can hear everything kind of like around. It makes it a lot easier. You play with the sound off a lot? I see. I am such a loot or a chest hawk that would be hard, but I mean, I guess I could probably put some matches in. I'll probably have to, because I can't wear headphones. And I had to actually to edit my video this morning that we dropped on the leaks. I had to put old computer speakers that I just had I had put away in a box somewhere on my PC, because I never use anything but headsets. So now when I'm playing in my living room, I have a Series X upstairs as well. I have one right next to me, and then I have one upstairs. I can play with sound on the TV, so maybe I'll play some killer matches, so I can just dump some infernal points into some characters. But yeah, absolutely, Jordan. I think it's easier to do. I think it's easier to do full build videos when the character's 25'd. So I'm a little bit behind where I was hoping to have had 2 or 3 out by now, but we do have the Arthur video out. But yeah, absolutely. You're going to see build videos for every character at some point. I mean, yeah, you absolutely can see them. I don't know. I usually hear them before I see them. But yeah, that's absolutely part of the plan, Jordan. Yeah, right now, what we're probably going to see on the channel in the next couple of days is how to choose a support character video. Should be like, I have the script for that, and I have the script for, obviously, for my my new tier list that we dropped today. So we'll probably be seeing those videos probably today, you know, coming up over the next couple of days. I mean, for me, DBD has always been kind of sound based, so I get that, Ka. When I play killer, though, now I have I kind of just play what I call nice killer. So we play nice killer, which is I cap myself at 2 either sacrifices or moris, and after that I just kind of hang out with people and try to help them escape. Henry's really good. Arthur is fantastic. I mean, as you know, Leland, I think you were here when I dropped my new tier list. I have Pablo 1 and Arthur 2, so you got the best 2 maxed out. So that's a good start. I'm gonna finish up Ed. My Ed's like 13 right now, so I will plug through and get him done. Will be my next move. But like last stream I did before I ended up calling it was I was doing a killer stream, so I was leveling Elagos for the most part. I was leveling Evil Dead Ash first, and then I just wasn't feeling like we weren't jiving like we were in the beta, so I switched over to Elagos and started crushing some stuff, even with a very, very low level Elagos. It was like a level 1 Elagos. I was still able to do like a ton of damage. So it's kind of funny, like you don't think about it, but sometimes you find a character that just fits more for you. But yeah, that's kind of what we were accomplishing, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of videos. I mean, I try to do a video every day, if not more than that. Another thing that slowed down the leveling a little bit was I wanted to make sure that all the walkthroughs got out for mission 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I sacrificed some leveling time for that. So Jordan, the key is all about leveling as fast as you can. And if you're looking for a killer that can do that really, really quickly, Elagos would probably be the one you might want to try out. So basically, you get, every time you grab Infernal Energy, you get points. Every time you set a trap, you get points. Every time you trap a chest, you get points. Every time you fear someone, so on and so forth. And the more you build your fear level up, that is your equivalent of pink fucks on the demon side. And so basically the goal is to get yourself to level 10 as quickly as you can, because then you can summon your boss demon. Boss demon is locked at level 10. So is locked until level 10. When you get your fear up to level 5, you can start summoning other things. So yeah, basically as you keep raising your fear level, you have different options you can put your infernal points into. I usually recommend, I always do the first one on raising my infernal energy tank, and then like usually do like possession, traps, demon energy, you know, something like that, depending on what type of group I'm going against. Because you can always see your opponent, so you can kind of choose which strategy you want to put your points into from the get-go. But obviously getting your portals opened are important, getting your boss demons important. But yeah, I think as a naturally as a killer main, for me it's a lot easier to get my head around it. It took a little while to get back to being a survivor because I just hate doing it on Dead by Daylight. So I've played killer now probably for 3 years, I think it's been since I really played Survivor a lot. Now, like, it's not to say I wouldn't play Survivor with friends. I used to play Survivor with friends if I had like a night where like some of my friends are like, let's group up and play Survivor. But for the most part, I just don't care. But yeah, I get it. I think tonight has been a lot of fun. I did not remotely anticipate going for about 2 hours and 50 minutes. But you guys seem to really enjoy it and have a lot of fun talking to everyone. If you like I said, if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure you do that. We're always having conversations in there, as well as we do that for voice chat as well, in case you don't do the in-game chat. Oh, snap. All right. Everyone drop in that Discord. Vegeta and Foggy simultaneously. I appreciate that. You guys are locking it down tonight. You guys have been killing it. Shout out to Foggy on the Facebook. What? On the Twitch side, and a little bit of YouTube work, as well as a shout out to Vegeta for holding it down. You're probably even doing like a raid while you're doing it tonight, aren't you? That's probably what you're doing. Like, I swear to God, like, you will raid and then like mod a channel. Nah, watching Prehistoric Planet. I haven't watched a new episode. Hopefully it's good. Nice. Way to go, Leland. I need to watch the new episode of Prehistoric Planet. I watched the first two. I haven't watched today's episode. I mean, I can't fault you for wanting to watch dinosaurs. I'm all for that. Yeah, I got my necromancer's like 9 or 10, and my Elagos is like 6. Like, I haven't got a lot of time in. Like, I've been doing other things. Like I said, like, here's the thing that sucks about playing missions. And then if you're playing missions multiple times, is there's no XP on missions. So, like, they should at least give you, like, count XP for it, because that would make complete sense. Even if you're not going to put on a character. But, like, missions are a waste of time if you're not getting, until you get the reward. Hey, Seasick, what's going on? And I did them multiple times, because I did them first on launch day to unlock all the characters, and then I did them again to do a walkthrough video. So, like, I spent a lot of time doing missions, so that kind of hindered a little bit. I'll be honest with you, I probably won't play a lot of DBD except, like, once in a while I'll play a stream, and then when Resident Evil shows up, I'll probably get sucked back in for like a week or two. Seasick, how are you doing? I know you've been crushing some matches over on the Discord. I've been seeing you in groups. We're just hanging out doing the Brujo show. Had a really fun time today. We're talking about Evil Dead, horror movies, Dead by Daylight. We even talked a little bit about the future ASIMs of Ghostbusters and Texas Chainsaw. I blanked for a second there. I was like, there's another one. What is it? What is the other one? Well, and I get it. You know, you kind of do that thing where you're watching, you know, you're playing a game for so long. And I'm sure there's going to be a moment where Evil Dead is like, all my characters are maxed. And I'm waiting for a content drop, and I'm a little bored, and maybe I'll straggle back into something else. But that's the beautiful thing about video games, is you can always do whatever you. Oh no, what happened? I'm sorry to hear that, Seasick. You should get a bonus to driving till the wheels fall off. I'm sure you'll work it out. Sometimes people just get... I don't know what happened. I haven't been on the voice chats for days since the year. I think Chet would be great. Like, Chet's a character we definitely need. And Ted Raimi is so good at literally every role he's in. Like, Ted Raimi is so underrated. You were using cheap tactics. I mean, play the demon however you want. Listen, this is the same thing I've said to people about DBD for years. Play the game the way you want. I proposed that, Leland. Yeah, it really does very little. I think card damage should be higher. I agree with you on that, Dander. I mean, I don't know what cheap tactics would be, but like, to be honest with you, I am all for, like, play the character the way you want to play the character. Like, here's the thing. We guys are playing privates. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're playing private matches. Who gives a shit? You're going to get 650 XP regardless. Like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose in a private match. It's the slowest form. You're going to get XP, but it's more to learn. Like, who cares? Like, I'll be honest. I don't know how you're using cheap tactics as a killer, but there's plenty of times that people would send me DMs when I played killer on Dead by Daylight, like, oh, you did this or you did that. You know, it is what it is. Like, play the game. It's your game. Play it the way you want. I'm a firm believer in that. If you want to be, you know, cheap or whatever, be cheap. I don't give a shit. Like, no. Like for example, like people, there's times where people would send me a DM for tunneling or for hook waiting, like whatever it is they were pissed off about. So what? That's part of the game. That is absolutely not an exploit. 100% for that. I would do the same thing. So what? That is a good move. If you didn't manage your fear and, you know, you possess the survivor while he's trying to revive someone, nothing wrong with that. That's not cheap. That's just part of the game. That's actually pretty solid tactics. If you got lucky enough that his fear was high enough and he had max fear, that's smart. That's using the game well. That's excellent use of tactics. I'll tell you one thing. I have done that to plenty of people. I did that when I was streaming on Monday. I had killed an Army of Darkness Ash. A Cheryl came over to get him. I feared the Cheryl because my demon vision was on cooldown, and maxed her out her fear and took the Cheryl and then killed 2 other people, and then the Cheryl kicked me, but she was pretty beastly, and then she got everyone up and I lost. But like, I got a bunch of kills out of it. Yeah, if you're red, that's all bets are off. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I've done that to people already. So I mean, then I apparently use cheap tactics to go well, because I think that is part of the game. Like, if you're using like a lot of animation cancellations, that's kind of cheesy, because we all know it's an exploit. But if you're you're possessing someone who's at max fear, that's not an exploit at all. That's part of the game. That is 100% designed that way. Right, like everyone's using animation cancellation right now because it's broken. Um, but but possession is 100% part of the game. Like that is something you can spec into in the middle of a match. So if you possess someone trying to revive their teammate, that's just really well done. And if you did it, you know, I've done that. So like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just really smart. Now, were you in like chat as the demon, or did you come back in after the match was over? Because when I'm playing demon, I get out of chat because I don't want to hear them talking or whining. Because like when I played, when we did the last community night, yeah, people have DC'd a lot recently. Like, you know, it is what it is, Leland. Like when I did a match the other day, the last community night, which I think was Sunday, and I was Evil Ash and just wiped everyone. But I did the same thing. I possessed an Annie and shot like half the team. And that's just part of it. You know, you bust a cap in someone. Someone was playing Annie. They didn't mitigate her fear. I possessed her. She was running over to save someone. She wasn't in the process, but then I turned around and shot the person who was actually rezzing the person. Gotcha. That's funny. I do that too. Like that's not cheap. That is 100% just playing your character. Well, what character were they playing? Like I don't see anything, like unless there's something not being told to me, I don't see anything wrong with this approach. That's like saying to like me, if I'm playing Ed Getley, I can't use my light to deactivate traps. Is it cheesy? Sure. Does it suck for the killer? Yeah. Is it part of the game? 100%. Like, there's nothing. I don't know what they want you to do. Let you res the. If you're trying to win, like, let you res the opponents. Like, that's the whole point. Is if you kill them before they get rid of the dark ones, that is game over. So was like Pablo using shields? Because at this point, from what you're telling me, they shouldn't be allowed to use shields. That's funny. Like, Kelly shouldn't be able to use shields. Cheryl shouldn't be able to use heals. Like I don't know. Nothing about that seems unfair. You know, as far as I'm concerned, like, you know, people take games very seriously. Let me guess, it was probably Pat who got upset about it, right? That's fair, Danzer. The Pablo ran off while Kelly, Cheryl, and Annie were doing lots of pages. Well, you know, that happens. That's a choice. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I personally don't think you did anything wrong. Well, I just took that. I sent you a DM, Buffalo. So that way you can just chit chat with me. But I wouldn't sweat it. Oh yeah, Pablo is the one character that can go do his own thing, and kind of be okay. Anyone else is probably a poor decision. Pablo has a much higher level of survivability than most characters. He has a much, definitely has the sneaky. So yeah, Pablo can kind of get away with it. There's not a ton of exploits I've seen so far, other than, of course, animation canceling is like the exploit right now. But we all know that's gonna get fixed. Like, that's not intended. It just is what it is. Like, it's definitely gonna get patched. And it should. Like, let's be 100% real. It really needs to be patched. So I think we're gonna call it at 3 hours. Like, I went way longer than I ever intended to, and you guys have been so freaking awesome that I just kept talking. And you wanted to hang out, and it's been a lot of fun. And obviously, we'll play matches together. Hopefully, I can get headphones back on. Like, for example, the sportsmanship in Dead by Daylight is fucking atrocious. Just terrible. Like, it shouldn't be. Like, it's a video game. Remember that. Remember, right now, we are talking about, and we play video games. Like, this isn't our livelihood. Like, whether we win that match is not going to cost us a sponsorship. It's a video game. Just enjoy it for what it is. That's the last thought I'm going to leave everyone with. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for over 3 hours. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you who have hung out in chat tonight, I've had an absolute blast. It was great talking to all of you, and it was a really, really fun stream that I wasn't sure I was even going to be able to do tonight. So thank you so much for hanging out. And we're going to call it there, and I will probably be back tomorrow with some sort of stream. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. Hopefully I can put a headphone on. It's going to depend if the pressure has gone down, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. And of course, I'm always willing to talk to everyone in Discord, and we'll try to drop a video tomorrow. My guess is the new tier list video should drop tomorrow. That is the plan. It might not be until the afternoon because I can't put any headphones on to hear stuff. I appreciate it, Danzer. Thanks you so much, everyone. It's been an absolute blast. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Later, mates.